1, 2, thank you. Proper modulation. Proper modulation. Proper modulation. Green. Type. Fifth tube. Green tube. Proper modulation. Proper modulation. Proper modulation. Proper modulation. Testing, testing. 1, 2, testing, testing. 1, 2, proper modulation. Proper modulation. As you will know, proper modulation is required. It is required. As you will know, proper modulation is required. It is required. Proper modulation.
Extremities pulsating with tingling sensation.
I will become master of the universe.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another live stream here at The Big Picture, where we talk about fitness, health, personal development, personal growth, education, the whole 9 yards, but no foolery, none of the nonsense. All right, today I have a special guest here. Marvelous opinions.
Hey, what's going on, people?
What's going on? You're a Navy veteran, 12 years of constant training experience. You know, so you're well versed. You've experimented much like I have with all sorts of training regimens, dietary practices, the whole 9 yards. Between the two of us, ladies and gentlemen, we probably tried it all, except performance enhancers. Have you tried that?
No, I have not.
Neither have I. It's been all natural my whole life. You know, I did a live stream on performance enhancers before. I'm thinking about doing a second one because they got new ones that come out, and a lot of professional bodybuilders have passed away. You know what I mean? Because of that. And so I think that's a very important thing. And a lot of people these days are looking for quick fixes. You know, so I think it's important for us to talk about that too one of these days. Maybe you can come back for that one. And we can get into it a little bit of it today. The dangers of it, you know, saying the reason why people do it, the whole 9 yards. So, for the people in the audience who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, guys, how you guys doing? I'm Marvelous, and this is my opinion. I'm here, a YouTuber on YouTube, and I've been on this, I would say, probably about 3 years now. Since the pandemic started, I made my way over to this YouTube space. I'm in the military, I'm Navy. I'm in for 16 years. I'm also, my job occupation would be an MP for the most part, military police. My other side hustle that I do, or I should say my C school, would be CFL, Command Fitness Leader. Someone who does fitness and stuff like that. I've been doing that, man, probably 10 years now. I'll say about probably older than that, probably 11 years. I guess before my wife. Yeah, so about 11 years I've been doing this, and learned a lot. I'm humble to always learn more, even from my man Mandrell. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting. But that's enough about me. Actually, I'll give you one more thing. It's not really known, but I'll put it out there. I'm 37 years old. That's right. Damn, I'm old as hell. But still look good though.
Not that old, man. It doesn't feel old. And then when you get in your 40s, when you're in your 40s and you're in shape, you don't feel old then either.
All right, that's good to know.
I used to hear it all the time. Oh, you get old when you get in your 40s. I'm like, I'm still waiting. But there's something to it though. Like I remember being warned. I go to the gym. Some of the older guys would be like, "Hey, you know, they found out how old I was. I was about 36 or 37 at the time. No, I think I was 38. They're like, hey, you might want to start going so heavy. You know what I mean? All so consistently heavy all the time. Start changing up your workouts. I was like, all right, cool. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, this has been working, so this is what I'm gonna keep going with, right, bro? Then like I turned like 40. I was like 42 years old, and then I was like, and out of nowhere, I'm walking upstairs. Another day, no problem. I'm walking upstairs, right, and my left knee was like, hey, fella. I'm like, hey, what's up? Remember all that heavy weight you used to put on doing those squats? Yeah, the 500-pound squats you used to do. Yeah, check this out. Bing! And I was like, oh, for no reason. I didn't do legs that day. Nothing. It was just for no reason. I had this sharp shooting pain in my left knee, man. I was like, what's this? What
Mm-hmm.
happened? They were but the guys were warning me to save my joints.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly
and
what it was.
after that one day, I sat right down and made up a whole nother workout routine. That
Mm-hmm.
same day, that same day, I sat down and
Mm-hmm.
wrote and made out a whole. Whereas not heavier weights, but I'm repping out, doing a lot of reps. You know, Instead of doing 8 to 10 or 5 to 8, it's 10 to 12 or sometimes
Mm-hmm.
15. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going up to 315 on the bench press. You know what I'm saying? All the time. I'll
Yeah,
stop at
yeah.
225 and do like 4 sets of that. You know what I mean? You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So you drop the weight a lot. And I
Oh
was like,
yeah, I
yeah,
know exactly what you mean. I know
forget
exactly
about
what you
that,
mean.
man. So now, like even when I'm doing progressive overload, I'll go up to 225, 275, 315. Then I
Mm-hmm.
do another set of 315, come back down to 275, back down to either 240 or 225.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the day and the workout routine I'm doing. You know what I mean? Doing more sets, then I'll go, 225, 240, 275, 315, 315 again, 275, 240, 225. And then I'm done
Mm-hmm.
with rest. I'll move on to incline, you know. But yeah, the heavyweights, dude, no. You can't do it forever. You can't they were right. They were right about that. You can't do it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
You know
tell us,
what though?
you've been doing this a long time, so same as me.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit
So,
with what started you into fitness? What got you motivated to get in shape and start taking care of your body?
let's see. All right. So I've always been active as a child coming into it. So I never had like what you call a fat boy phase. Some people they grew up, not being so active and they got a little fat and then, one day they just shook it off. I've always been pretty much active, but I've always pursued to have perform better in certain areas. So when I was younger, I was actually inspired in martial arts, looking at people like Bruce Lee, of course, saying he's a legend.
Yeah.
Picked up some of his books and his philosophy and stuff like that, understand how he did it. I didn't follow his path per se, but I learned one thing from him, and that's just start with the basics. Be a master of the basics. So I did Taekwondo up to white belt. I didn't go no further. I got the basics from that. Did boxing for a little bit. Actually, I still do boxing to this day. But same thing. Take the basics from that and just evolve and get better with it. You know what I'm saying? And really appreciate the art of both those types of styles and understanding just the basics, helps you understand the advanced stuff as well. It's just that was really my little thing when coming to the fitness was, movement in the body and mechanical movements with how I can, do things when it comes to striking and defending and stuff like that. I'm still learning to this day. I still take on different things when it comes to that aspect. But what made get me into the gym was probably I was in the military. Let me see. It was actually in the Middle East, and I was actually studying Kenpo when I was over there. There's a guy over there, again, basics, again, horse stance, all that stuff like that. And my boy, he was a big muscle head. And he used enhancements too. That's another story. But I just like was helping him out in the gym as a person helping, he needs someone to spot him. So I would just go and spot him. Because at that time I was just doing calisthenics. I would jog, run, push ups, pull ups, just stuff like that. I wasn't ever messing with the weights until I messed with him. And that's when I started, you know what? I'll dabble a little into it, you know. And let me give you a full picture. So I joined the Navy. I was like 175 after boot camp. I was 185. I gained 10 pounds in boot camp alone, 3 months, 10 pounds automatically. Then I went to my first aid station, got up to 190, and I stayed there for about a year and a half. And then I went up to 200 after 2 years. And I was 200 pounds consistent for 6 years straight at 6'2", just straight up 200 flat, not an ounce more, a dead ass. I was flat because in the service we get our physical fitness test, and they put you on the scale, they weigh you, all that stuff like that. I was always 200. I wish I had my record. I could show you exactly. It says 200 for 6 years straight. It never changed up. So I've been consistent in doing what I was doing for a long time. And that was mostly just to stay in shape for the military. They want you to run and do push-ups and sit-ups for a certain amount, whatever. Right now we do planks. They just changed it up about 3 years ago. So now we do planks instead of sit-ups. Because of that and that discipline, that became a part of my life. And then I wanted to find other ways to evolve. Another person who inspired me, this is gonna be cliche, was Dwayne Johnson. I started to see how he was blowing up after, I would say, Pain and Gain, how much muscle he put on. Of course, it wasn't natural and all, but it was still something that made me say, like, because the thing I liked about him was his work ethic. He had such work ethic that made me feel like, especially because his age, and that's the biggest thing I would say from my older people, respectfully. I look at them and I say, if he can do that, man, what kind of potential do I have? So I always look at my elders and look at what they're capable of, and it just inspires me to go like, I gotta go harder. I gotta do better because there's no way this guy's gonna outbeat me. At his age, what I'm saying, I got the best advantage here. I got youth. The biggest thing about, and I'm starting to realize as you get older, I can recover faster than him naturally.
Hmm.
So that's my biggest thing. And plus my testosterone too, especially when you're young, just high. You know what I'm saying? For men, it's have to taper off around 33, 32 years old. It starts to naturally taper off if you ain't properly nutrition and working out. If you start to do proper nutrition work out, it won't taper off until about 38 or so. You get a couple more good years in you before you start to take a little dip. Naturally, it dips. Also depends on your sex life and stuff like that too. That's involved in your testosterone levels. But that's another topic. So I had inspiration from Dwayne Johnson, inspiration from Bruce Lee. These are people who made me think like I want to do something physically active with my body, and how I look aesthetically. Eh, I do have a look. I kind of want to be somewhere between those two. I want to be a little ripped like Bruce Lee, but a little big like Dwayne Johnson, but not all the way big and not all the way ripped. Just somewhere little in between both of those people. They're too extreme. For me personally, it's just too extreme. But I think I fit right there in the middle just nice.
Nice, nice. Yeah, my inspiration personally was at first when it comes to lifting weights, my inspiration first was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a lot of people.
Right, right. He was coming off of those Terminator movies and all that, man. Yeah, and he had the big muscles. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I was a
Yeah.
wrestling fan growing up, so I used to see all the
Okay.
wrestlers walk around big and
Yeah.
bulky. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, yeah, I really wanted to look like those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, yeah. So you got into it. How'd you start? Like you started when you got in the military?
A little bit, not that well. Weight room wise, yes. I didn't start the weight room stuff until I got to the military, but before that, it was always boxing, taekwondo, stuff like that. I was always doing running, sprinting, biking forever. I did a lot of biking. My God, so much biking. But that was just, I always stayed active. I've always been active. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I like to do active things. But as far as actually doing it for a goal, as far as looking aesthetically, that didn't happen until like a little bit after the military. Like when I got in, I saw like I said, Dwayne Johnson being as old as he was, and I was like, man, if that mega like that, man, I gotta do something better with this. And then my friends in competition, you know how men be like, oh, you got your arms, you can do this, you do that, and I was like, all right, I'll do a little something, something. So you look better, you got those chest, you can start doing this. I'm like, all right, I'll take consideration, start working on it. So I just look for ways to improve myself. Over time, you got to start acknowledging yourself, and being like, where are some places you're strong at, where some you're weak at. And that's what I realized. It's like, okay, I'm weak in this area. I can pick it up a little bit more, just some self improvement, not to prove to anyone else, but because I know myself and I know what I can work on. So I'll just work on that. and that's what I did.
Same here. Yeah. You see the things you work on, then put a little extra effort into it. You know, they found that they finally got studies where they show that working on a muscle, if you want to improve a muscle group, work on it twice a week as opposed to once a week. You know, a lot of people go leg day, arm day, chest day, back day, shoulder day. You
Yeah.
know, um, but working on a muscle group twice a week, that improves it. You know what I'm saying? That really does help. So, like, I've always never been super impressive in the chest, in my opinion. Like everything else would get huge. Everything else would get huge. My shoulders, bowling balls. You know what I'm saying? My back was like a kite. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
tree trunks for legs. But for some reason, the chest is just like it'd be defined, well defined. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
chiseled, but it's just like I'm like, where's the mass? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly
Where's the
what you mean.
bulk there, man? You know what I'm saying? It got to a certain point, it grew, and it just kind of just stayed right there. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Mm,
You know,
I know this feeling.
right? And my arms too were the most impressive. My
Okay.
bis and tries, yeah. It's
Hmm.
because of some of the exercises I had that were some of my favorites. What are some of your favorite exercise? Like mine for the chest is the cable crossover.
Uh,
For chest, always
Mine's
has
is
been.
yeah, mine's is gonna be dumbbells, hundred times over. Dumbbells, 1,000%. I can do everything. I can do so many exercises with dumbbells alone. Just so many exercises come from dumbbells alone. I got a couple of my, and that's not even they're portable. You could put them in the house somewhere. I got a couple of them. I got from the 5 pounds to 25 pounds and the 50 pounders at the house. I'm working on getting the 75 and 100 pounds when I can. They're just not ready and available on the shelf. And as you know, I'm like moving across states. I'm not trying to order those bad boys. Um, Having 200 pounds coming to mail is going to be quite expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Seriously.
like I said, just my location, they're just not ready and available on the shelves. And some of the sport places I go to buy them, they usually got the max is 50 pounds they carry. Everything else they have to special order or something. I'm just like, all right, man. I'll do that when I get back home to the States and I'll get it from there. It'll be a lot cheaper than taking it to Japan, whatever. But yeah, my thing is definitely gonna be dumbbells all the way because I like doing curls. I like doing extensions. So I work my triceps. I do flat bench chest press, fly pecs, lunges, squats, deadlift rows. I mean back rows. It's just you could do so much with dumbbells, man. Like that's my bread and butter. And like I said, because the pandemic happened, that was my number one go-to. I still got them in the house. And I like them. Like this, I'm grateful to have them. I mean, the next thing would be the bar, for squats and bench and all that stuff like that. Um, but just because of what I had available to me, I was just grateful just for some dumbbells, man. Because when the gyms was closed, man, oh my God, your boy was struggling. I said, I need some equipment. I need something to pick up and put down.
Right, right. Yeah, dumbbells are my second favorite. I fell in love with cables because there was constant tension, both in the
Yeah,
eccentric
that's
and the
true.
concentric.
Yeah.
There's no breaks for the muscle. There's constant tension, you know. Uh, but before I discovered the cables, it was dumbbells, same as you. Like I just like you said, they're so versatile and
Hmm.
portable. Cable ain't
Yeah.
portable. You gotta buy a special machine for it, and that's a couple of grand. But you can't take it anywhere. It's too heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, the best option to me as far as if for a home gym, if you can't afford a cable machine, buy dumbbells. So that's my thing. So dumbbells are. Now, what are some of the exercises that you would advise people to stay away from?
Whew. Some people gonna hate me for this, man. I mean, I would stay away from back squat.
Why is
Back
that?
squat because exercises like that, you got to measure the risk reward. You know what I'm saying? The risk reward it's not there for me. There are other exercises that will give you the same results with less risk. When it comes to your lower back, you know what I'm saying? That is crucial. That you protect. I mean, I know there are all types of things you can do to prevent But that's the thing, though. If you have to put so many preventive measures for something that is not that rewarding in a sense of just saying I could put this on my back and I can come up from a 90 and or below a 90 and come up all the way up, because you got that form, that's cool. But again, what is the goal here? Is it the goal to get stronger, bigger legs, or is it just to show that you can do something just so you can do it? You know what I'm saying? There's just some exercises I think the risk don't outweigh the cost. The risk is way too high for the cost what you're trying to gain as a reward. I would use a leg press over the bench, over the squat, in my opinion. That's just something out because it's less risk. The only thing you're still taxing is your knees, but that comes down to, again, like you said earlier, the weight part and the repetition. You know what I'm saying? Like your muscles can be strong, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is your joints, those, you over rep anything, it's just you're gonna wear and tear on the cartilage and stuff like that in the tendons. So you gotta just be mindful of that. And I also tell people as a tidbit, the moment you feel pain, and I'm talking like, not that good burn, I'm talking about like you feel a sharpness or a throb, stop immediately. Whatever just stop it. Because I promise you, especially as I'm getting older, man, recovery is going to be a bitch.
Yeah.
Because if you try to crank it, whether it's because your ego, you feel like, oh no, so I ain't gonna be that bad. Like, no. You got your first warning. Take it as a warning. Because if you go any further, you're looking at 3 to 6 to a year in recovery because you just didn't want to stop. I know personally it happened to me. I had something in my back, and this came from the other lift that I would not recommend because again, it's not worth the weight. Deadlifts. I love deadlifts, but I love it because of ego. To tell you the truth, I'm being real honest. It's not because I want to. It's all ego. I'm being honest with myself. It's not because I want to get stronger glutes or stronger quads and stuff. Like, no, I'm doing it because I can say, look at me, look how big this, look how much weight this is, and look how I can lift it up, clean and all that stuff. I'm doing it for ego. I'm not doing it because I want to increase the strength in my glutes, my thighs, the calves, and all that stuff, my lower back and my upper back. Saying truth, in my grip, there's so much that goes into a deadlift, man.
Yeah.
It's good for a total body workout in that sense. If that's what you're going for, it's not bad. Like I said, I don't want to condemn it, but it's like, why do you do it? There's other things you can do that would increase it'd be safer, in my opinion. But yes, I messed my back up because I didn't switch often. Like sometimes I switch grips, you know what I'm saying? And I had a habit of just under gripping it with my left over my right. And one day I pulled up on it and I felt it. It finally caved in. Like where that muscle that was always compensating, because that's the problem. You're compensating one side over the other. And it finally just like felt a tear as I came up. And I was like, ow, I dropped the weight. And I didn't think anything of it, I said, okay, I'm not going to deadlift no more. I'm going to go do pull-ups. And that's where I messed up at. I was done for like, God, for 6 months total. Because after I let 3 months go by, and I thought, okay, 3 months, that should be all right. I wanted to go do pull-ups, and I said, I can still feel it. Crap, damn it. And because I felt it, I knew I had another 3 months to go. I said, shit. So that's what happened, man. That I tell you, man, anytime you feel this a little bit, just stop. Don't even, don't even mess with it. You get your one warning. That's it.
Yeah. For me, deadlifts, 2 exercises I can't stand, deadlifts and the barbell back squat. I said on one of my live streams here, I said that the barbell back squat is going to be, if there was ever an exercise that I'm going to retire, it would be that one. Yep. Because there's so many other things I can do. I can do goblet squats. I can still do hack squats. I can do leg press.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I can do, hamstring curls, leg extensions. There's a lot of other leg exercises I can do, But I do recognize the importance of it because it's the barbell back squat. It's a multi-muscle, exercise. It does work a lot of muscles. It's a very good compound exercise to do. I've just since I was 14, I've never liked it. Never once. Ever since the first time I did it, which was 14 years old, I've never liked them ever. I've always done them because I had to.
Mm.
That's it. And I had dreaded doing it. That's why on leg days, that's the first thing I do. I knock out the barbell squats. First thing. When I'm done, I'm like, oh, thank God. Now let's go do something else. You know? So yeah, can't stand it. And the deadlift. I've never done the I tried the different grips, you know, one
Yeah.
overhand, one underhand.
Yeah.
That never felt comfortable to me. So I do both overhands. You know,
That's
and
how
plus
that's
what
I
and
would
plus
do.
yeah, plus I found out that when you're doing it this way, like most people do, one hand over hand, one hand supinated, the other one not,
Yeah.
you create imbalances in your back
Exactly. Yep.
because you work in different muscle fibers when you do it like this. So it creates it creates imbalances in your back. So if it's best to have the hands facing the same direction, you know. That's probably what a part of what happened to you. But like you said, once
It
you felt the
was.
pain, you didn't stop. You said, all right, I'm done with this exercise. Let me go do some pull-ups. It's still a back exercise, though. It's still a back exercise. And that's the thing, people. Sometimes, like if you get in the gym, you actually honestly hurt yourself. Call it a day. Call it a day. Come back tomorrow. Work a different muscle group. You know, go do some cardio or something. Actually, you know what I'm saying. If you still want to be there, you want to work out. Don't work that same muscle group anymore. It's over. There are gonna be days like that, though. There are gonna be days. And what's the rush? You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, but yeah,
Exactly.
I agree with you for the most part. For the most on all of it actually. Dumbbells are good, except I discovered those cables, man. The constant
Yeah.
tension on the muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the constant tension on the muscles, and like I said, the cable flies. That's when I
Mhm.
saw the most development in my chest. When I started working
Yeah.
with the cables, doing cable flies, that's when my chest started.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
doing
Because
dumbbells, I saw better. I've seen very little results that I've noticed from using barbells with my chest, incline or
really.
flat bench. Yeah, I've always saw results because in the army, I would do bench press to try to improve my push-ups.
Hmm.
Wasn't working, right? But then the second I moved to dumbbells, like a few weeks later, I noticed my push-ups had increased a whole lot
Mm.
from doing dumbbells. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I discovered, okay, I'm working the same muscle group, which is the chest, but I'm working different muscle fibers.
Hmm.
But this is more functional. I can actually use this as opposed to getting on the bench press. Like for me, that's an ego exercise. Because
Pretty much is. It really
yeah,
is.
I got at once upon a time I had because I got my all time high as far as one rep max was 405, right?
Damn. Nice.
Yeah, 405, and then it's like, and again that's ego. But here's the thing: I had to gain weight to do that. The six pack was gone. You know what I'm saying? The aesthetics. I still look good, but the aesthetics weren't what they used to be. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? But I had the size like The Rock did in that movie Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
He was huge. He was huge.
Yeah.
He was huge. Clearly, he was on PEDs. And he comes around here. I've never taken anything. He's like, come on, Rock. Really?
Hmm.
We can see you, right? You know that we can see you, right? And then afterwards, he loses the muscle. It's like, yeah, okay, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Why do you stay like that then if it was natural? You know? But yeah, that's what it is for me. So you've always been into like sports and stuff like that, right? Now
Yep.
you're in the military. You joined the Navy for some reason. I still
I
don't
can tell
get
you why.
that.
I can tell you
But
exactly why. Okay. I'm tell you
the
exactly
yeah,
why
the
the Navy.
Navy.
I'll tell you why. All right. Because I mean, later on, I kind of was like, damn, I should have done the Air Force. Then I was like, damn, I should have done maybe Marines. But the reason why
The
I did the
Marines.
Navy, well, yeah, because I had a part of me that really wanted to be about that action. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, if I had to be anywhere, I'd rather be on the land. And that's where the mind was different. When I was young, I was like, because we were just at, 9/11 also just happened and stuff. And I was kind of like, it was the safest place I could be. Probably on the ship. They having fun on land right now, just shooting up stuff and bombing stuff. But I'm on the boat. ain't no one gonna be on the boat coming after us. And USS Cole happened and stuff. But besides that, it was kind of like ain't nothing gonna happen to me on no ship. So I was like, we gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm only gonna be here for 4 years, get my degree, and I'm out. That was my intentions. You know what I'm saying? Join the Navy, go to college, and get on out. And the safest one sounded to me was like, a ship. They ain't doing nothing on ships. They ain't gonna fight no ship. I have not heard of a ship battle in a long time. So I figured like I'd be safe. That's why I joined the Navy. 'Cause I was like, I'm gonna be here on this ship, and everything gonna be Gucci. Nothing of that effect. Nothing of that effect has occurred in my career. I have never been to a ship until just now. That's gonna happen in July, August. I'm going to my first ship, a carrier out of Virginia. First time ever. This is my last send off tour. I don't know what to expect. I really don't. But the reality of that, being on a ship, make it quick, I have to depend on these people, bro. Because I'd rather be on land now. Because at least when I can retreat, I can retreat.
Yeah, you can't. Something happened on that boat. You can't drink all that water.
Exactly. I was like, damn.
Yeah. And shout out to Tommy
man.
B, who's in the chat. He's also a fellow sailor like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all joined the
What's up,
Navy.
man?
Yeah, I joined. For people who don't know, I'm former Army. Okay, I joined the Army. Yeah, because honestly, I mean, I did want that action. I'm not gonna. I'm with you. Like
I
a
know
part
what
of me
you
wanted that
mean.
action. Yeah,
I know.
if I'm gonna do it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, but the Navy, and this is different branches of the U.S. military. We pick at each other. It's all love though. It's all family. We're all service members. There's no real insult meant there. It's just jokes for people who don't know. It's kind of a big brother, little brother thing. It's a sibling rivalry type deal.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do agree that the Air Force is the spoiled brats, right?
Yes. Very much so. I'll tell you my story about joining the Air Force. Initially, I was going to join the Air Force. Like you, it's safe. The Air Force don't do anything. I'm not going to be a pilot. I don't want to fly planes. So let me get in here and find something to do, right? I meet with a recruiter. This guy was such a jerk and a snob.
Oh,
he was a snob. Yeah, he was just. You can see that he had this attitude. Well, I don't need you. That kind of attitude, and I was like, yeah, no. And like right next to it was a Navy recruiter. Right next to that was an Army recruiter. So I went right into the Army recruiter's office, talked to them. He said, "Hey, you got student loans?" I said, "Yeah, we'll pay them off for you." I said, "Well, where do I sign, Sergeant?" He said, "What? You interested in that?" I said, "Bring on the contract. You're gonna pay off my student loans?" "Yeah." "Well, wait. You gotta take the ASVAB." I said, "I took it in high school." You just use that. And Tommy B says exactly my experience with the Air Force. Yes, this guy was such a snob. Just he had this arrogant sense of scumbag entitlement. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I don't like people like this. This ain't gonna be for me. If this is an indicator of what the Air Force is like, this isn't for me. No, my dad spent he was like 30 some odd years in the Army. You know what I mean? He spent like 4 years active duty, and he spent the rest in the National Guard. Right?
Okay.
So total Army service. He was over 30 years at that point, because it's National Guard. It's 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. So why not do it? But yeah, he was I talked to him about it before I went to any recruiter. He said, "Yeah, he gave me the most vague answer. Yeah, just go down there, talk to the recruiter, see what they got to offer, and just find something you like if you want to." Said, "Yeah, but what's the Army like?" "Well, just sign up and find out." "Wait, what?"
Oh God.
There's a man with 32 years experience in the Army telling me just sign up and find out. Really? That's all you got?
Man, my father was the opposite, man. My mom and dad was pissed when I signed up, bro. They was just like, "I don't think you know what you signed up for." My dad, he was prior Army. I was like, "Oh man, here we go." He says, "No, you think it's a joke. You gonna find out real soon what you signed up for. I don't think you're ready for it." I'm just like, All right, man. We'll see. Because me, I was like, this is like peak Call of Duty days, man. I was like in it. I was like, I'm ready to go get some. Let me go find out what this life is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I ain't scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go in. You know what I'm saying? And in some ways, I did have that hero mentality. You know what I'm saying? I want to save and serve my country and stuff like that. You know, and part of that is still with me, but it's a little more different. You know, because now I look out for my people, my left to my right, and I just want to make sure that we all go home at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So my country is one thing, of course, that comes with the territory, but I'm more concerned about those I serve with than serving my country. Altogether, we're gonna do what we do for the country as a whole, but my priority is make sure that my people go home. That's it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. That really is. A lot of people don't understand that when you tell them, why would you sign up for that? Make sure the other guys get home. What about you? What
Yeah, the
about
same
me?
for me.
You know what I'm saying? What about me? They doing the same thing for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's one thing I actually took away from it. It's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something that had nothing to do that wasn't about me. It's not all about me. It's about someone else. We're all in this together. We're all in this hailstorm together. I'm gonna make sure you get home alive and in one piece to your family.
Yep.
And he's doing the same thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking out for one another. And you see how well it works, you know. So now I'm able to come back here and apply it to my everyday life.
Yep.
You know, you look out for other people if you can, you help out if you can, you know,
Mhm.
and that's what it's about. The whole patriotism thing, there's an element of it to that, but once you actually
Yeah.
get in earnest, it changes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say like probably after like let's see, probably 6 9 months, that thing faded quick. It was like you know what it's like. As soon as you hear morning colors, what is all right? What's everyone doing? As soon as colors come on, you hear actually you hear the 5 minute warning. What's everyone doing?
They're either coming in to change clothes, go to PT because they've been out the night before,
Yup.
and they're just getting in, or
So
everybody's getting up. Nobody really wants to do it. You know what I'm saying?
nobody. But it is what it is. We understand it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, like I said, there's an element, so there's patriotism, there is, it does change the moment. Like, you come in all, like we say in the Navy, you're Joe Navy, you know what I'm saying? You got that boot camp on, you still, we could tell who's fresh out of boot camp because that military brand is tight. You know what I'm saying? It's not corrupted yet. Until they stay in long enough, and they start to see the real Navy, and it's like, oh, this is what this is about.
Yeah. Look at Tommy B says running so they don't have to stop and salute. Yeah. Because the commander's walking into PT too. I always wondered, like, how come the commander don't never do PT? You know what I'm saying? Like they would never do it. Then PT tests would come up, they would never have to do that either. It's like, all right, so
Mm-mm.
we got to do it, but he doesn't. Yeah, there's a big romanticization about the U.S. military that people don't know
Oh
about.
yeah.
It's like
Oh yeah.
people romanticize it, like especially with the fitness part. Because they do have an element, a standard that you have to meet and maintain. You know what I'm saying? How is it? What do you think of people who get in, don't maintain that standard, but complain that the military is sending them home because they didn't maintain that standard? Because I'm sure you've seen that before. I saw a
Oh
guy who
yeah.
had a huge gut, and I'm just like, dude, you look like you haven't worked out like ever. Like, how'd you get? How long you been that big?
Mm,
And how'd you get through basic? Like seriously, he was in that poor of shape, and
mm.
it was just
I,
I was confused. I didn't understand. Like, what do you think of
I
people
tell
like that?
you, I'll tell you right now, I haven't seen that as a consequence since 2013. They changed up so much of the military when it comes to physical standards. Um, it's piss poor. Again, as a
Mm,
command fitness leader, it pisses me off because they don't understand that the purpose of you actually having this incorporated as a part of which required for you to stay and keep the job per se is discipline. It's the discipline aspect, being consistent and aware. And the thing is, when you don't have discipline of your body, yourself, it's kind of be like it's going to trickle affect other things. It shows that you have a certain weakness and flaw in your character of maintaining just your body. And you want me to trust you to maintain a unit, but you can't even maintain yourself to some aspects. And it's really just because that's you're not in the Navy right now, man. 2013, they got rid of what you just talked about, like, oh, you're fat, get out. No, they changed it to where it's like, okay, you're fat and you don't pass your PRT, okay, you can't get your next rank until you pass your PRT, if you made rank. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you'll still stay in until your contract's about to end. And depending on what job you have, you know, they may still keep you because of whatever, but it's still going to look bad on you if you're trying to re-enlist. But right now, today, bruh, you can be at 40% body fat, which is way over the limit, and you're fine. The body, we don't. The standards are so low right now, man. Not just physical fitness, but even mentally. They were taking all comers. Oh, there's another thing. Get this. They got rid of higher tenure. That's gone, baby.
They what?
You can retire. Yeah, higher tenure is gone, baby. You can retire as an E4, E5 if you want to.
How?
That's happening right because they need people. Retention is so bad right now. The standards are so low. Oh, you don't even need a GED. Yeah, standards are pathetic right now. They need bodies, and they'll take anybody, anyone, right now, currently.
Yeah, Tommy B is agreeing with you.
Yeah.
As weak as when I was joining in 03. Yeah.
Yeah, standards are very, very, it's declining. Like I said, in my 16 years, I saw the transformation from 08 to 2013, from 2013 to 2016, from 2016 to 2021. It's just getting worse. And now we went from PT twice a year to PT once a year.
Huh?
One physical, yeah. I'm telling you, the standards are just pathetic. It pisses me off because I'm like, bro, like, we are literally the fattest military in the world. Hands down. Hands down.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be the world's best Navy. That's why it's so hypocritical and I can't stand it.
Tommy B says I might need to rejoin.
Yo, they brought some bonuses back. They brought the bonuses back, so you can probably get in and they'll give you 15K or whatever job you're trying to go into right now. But that's nothing. So they brought re-enlistment bonuses back. That's how you know retention is so bad. It's like I'm just so disappointed in it because it's like, bro, like I joined, like my wife, she's foreign. She's American now, but when I met her, she was foreign. She was from Taiwan. And her perception of us was what she saw in Hollywood. She was so shocked to see so many fat people in the military. She says, or in the Navy in general. She says, why are these people fat? Are they supposed to be fat? And I'm just like, that's the standard, babe. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I just thought you guys were in shape. I thought you guys were like the best of people's country. I'm just like, God damn it. Like, it's just so bad. Like, think of it. It's like, the perception is we're supposed to be some of the best that the Navy, our country has to offer. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be like, not like the Marines was the few and the proud. Now, I actually am proud of those guys. For the most part, they stay in shape. I give those boys credit. That's why I said I wish I would have joined the Marines because I was like, at least they got discipline on that part. They got a lot of discipline, period. You know what I'm saying? They're a little more tighter than we are too. But there was also there's a double-edged sword because when one get punished, you all get punished. And I'm like, I don't really like that so much. But
no.
It will help you. It does help accountability, y'all, because you will tighten that person up so quick for getting you guys all in trouble. So, double-edged sword.
Yeah. So for me, the Army, the standards were okay, right? And for the job I signed up for, the physical fitness standards were extremely high, to the point where when I looked at them on paper, I was in basic training, right? When I looked at them on paper, I was like, yo, what? I got to do what now? I got to run this fast? The only thing that concerned me was the push-ups and sit-ups were, clown shoes.
Yeah.
I was looking at push-ups and sit-ups. I was like, this is going to be barbecue chicken. I looked at the run time. I looked at the run time. I was like, wait, I got I'm not an Olympian. Okay, I can't go to the Olympics and win a race. Why do I need to do this fast? This is ridiculous. Like the running standard was crazy. It was bananas. And me, I've always been a sprinter. I had to learn how to be a distance runner. And 2 miles is distance. You know, for me, that's a killer. You know what I'm saying? A quarter of a mile. All right, I can get you some real time on that. Anything more than that, I'm out of wind. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. Muscle, man. Right. And understand, I was 190, I was like between 200 and 195 pounds. I got to carry that weight.
Yep.
You know, and it's all muscle. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I got to carry that weight all the way down there. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I tried to keep up with like the third person in the front. You know what I'm saying? But then we went to airborne school. So I did well, and I got better at distance running, much better than I thought I ever could. So by the time we got to airborne school, right, there's some guys who had just gone through BUD/S from SEAL training. So you know, SEALs have to come to the Army and go to some Army schools for training because for whatever reason the Navy doesn't have those schools, like Combat Diver School. That's an Army school.
Oh, the Army runs a lot of programs.
Yeah, man.
You guys do a lot in the Army. You guys like the foundation for a lot of training, honestly.
And so we were in our airborne school, and these guys, there's like 5 of them. They just graduated BUD/S, had to come to the Army school, airborne school. So I'm in airborne school, and these guys, SEALs, you know, I get to talk to them and talk about what's it like, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of got me excited. You know what I'm saying, about going into special forces. You know. So anyway, came to the first APFT, right? I'm running and I'm doing really good. I'm making fantastic time, right? Even by the high standards that they have for my profession, I'm doing really well. These guys passed me, and they kept going. Kept going. Like they came back around and lapped me. I was like, I said, that's impossible. I'm like, as fast as I'm going, I'm like, that's impossible.
I know why. I know exactly why.
I was like, that's impossible. They lapped me like twice. We're only going 2 miles right now. Huh?
They had less mass on them, didn't they?
Yeah. They weren't as muscular as I was.
Yeah, I would say that was the biggest thing I realized in the military when it came to like the body composition. Like I would be like, that's kind of strict, you know what I'm saying? Like I can only be 209 pounds max. You know what I'm saying? Because like as I was trying to bulk, when I was at 200 pounds, right? I was going to bulk a little bit more. I felt twiggy. I felt a little twig. I was like, I don't want to be like this skinny. I want just a little bit more mass on me. I got 215, and it was like, yo, we got to tape you, man. I said, yeah,
I had to do that. Like every time we, you know, they did the height and weight test, I never passed the weight. They would always have to do the measuring tape and measure my body fat. So people, that's another thing the military does. If there's a height and weight standard that you have to meet and maintain. So if you're overweight for your height, they'll measure your body fat that you have they take that into account, the amount of muscle mass you have on your body. So I never passed a weight test. I always had to get my body fat measured every single time. Even in basic, to this day, I've never passed a height and weight test. There's just too much muscle on my frame.
Yeah.
There was just too much. And so, like you said, when it was running, these guys were smaller than me. The pathetic ones were the Marines. Now, the Marines, I'm just going, you know, so I'm passing right by them. I'm keep going. And these guys are, because their PTS was only 1.5 miles. Ours was 2 miles. Ours was 2 miles. And the Army wasn't kidding. You know what I'm saying? There will be no help coming. You're all on your own. You fall out, medic, and they'll send the medics. You know, or if you're going too slow, they'll talk to you while you're running up to them and say, "Hey, you're going too slow. You all right? Do you need a medic? You need medical attention?" No, Sarge. No, Sarge. All right. That's it. Like the Army really does big boy rules, man. This big boy rule. You will be a man. You know what I mean? They're just like, you better take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but the point is, like, like you said, the body composition does play a part, and that's another thing I learned there. Okay, I can put on all the bulk and muscle; it does slow you down. It does, you know what I mean? Because you have to carry all that weight. Yeah, I'm 200 pounds. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take much for me to knock anybody out now. Because in hand-to-hand combat, that's where I really excelled. That and marksmanship. I really excelled at that. So I'm slamming people, popping them in the chin. They're just going to sleep. And I'm just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So, because I box too, you know? And so I'm feeling good about myself with all that power and everything. But then came to running, I was like, I hate running. The distance run, like again, I was still fast. I could still sprint. The distance running is what got me, man. But it's important though. It builds endurance. You know, so those of you out there who don't like distance running, learn how to run properly. You're not supposed to be running and landing on your heels. It's supposed to be landing on the ball of your foot. You know, that's how you prevent yourself from getting shin splints and things like that. And shin splints is when the muscle around the shin detaches from the bone a little bit because of the microfractures that's happening in the bones when you run. And so what happens is, because of the pain, is the muscle is now with each step bouncing against the bone. I had those too. And
thing too. I was gonna say, when it comes to that too, that same thing. There are tendons and muscles in y'all feet too. I know y'all know this, but people don't really take that for account when it comes to running and stuff. It's like you got to stretch those out as well. You know what I'm saying? The best thing I do for stretching that is, you know how in Japan, you know how they sit down on their knees, but their feet they're sitting on the balls of their feet for the most part, is way back. So if you can put yourself in a sitting position where your knees are all the way bent and you're sitting on the balls of your heels and you're stretching out your feet and your shin at the same time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you'll find out real quick if you try that you probably can't even do it. That's how tight the muscles are and the tendons are on your foot. But if you want to stretch that out, you can slowly, it depends, all right? Now, if this is your feet, right? And you're sitting right, sitting your butt, whatever, right? You may have to adjust it where it's like this, a little more farther out, or a little further in. You know, further out is easier for you to sit on the heels. The further in you come in, the tighter it is. So it's gonna be real hard to get that when it's closer to your butt. You know what I'm saying? Just having the outside of your cheeks and your hips, it's a little more easy to stretch it out. But if you want to really get that tightened in, it's where your shin and your, what do you call that? The instep of your foot are actually aligned with the ground, and you tighten it all up, and your feet are also bending as well. Oh, it's great. And the same thing, you know, you bend your feet the other way, you have like this instead, you know what I'm saying? So it's, people got to stretch out those muscles as well. No one takes consideration of that, but stretch those out. I do that, you know, when I was back in Japan, I do that every morning. It's a great thing to do before I even go run.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll say that I underestimated big time was flexibility. I really underestimated how important flexibility is. But it's something I've been working on ever since now. I even bought one of those machines where you sit down with your legs straight like this, but there's a wheel in between your legs, and you crank it and it just stretches your legs out to the side until you can get yourself into a split. But when I stop, wherever you are, it stops. So I'll get myself as far as I can and I'll stop and I'll sit there for about 2 minutes. And then I'll stretch it again, and it's stretching me out more, right? And then by the time I'm like, and I'll sit there for like 5 minutes. I'll go as far as I can again, because your muscles are stretching and they're getting longer. You know what I'm saying? So I do that, and I'll do that for like 20 minutes. Just go until I get to the point where I literally cannot stretch out anymore. You know what I mean? And I'll just sit in that position for by that time, it's about a good 10 minutes. I can sit in there.
Good.
Yeah, because I spend 10 minutes making adjustments, you know what I'm saying, and stretching out and easing my way into the split position, you know. But I don't underestimate it anymore. It's super important, you know. Salute to Tommy B. He says, my cousin said they pushed the enlistment date back to 41. Good Lord. It sounds like they do need people. So if you guys are interested in joining the military, I don't want to say it, but the Navy's looking for people.
That's a new one. Go to
no,
Force.
that's fake.
No, that's I thought it was fake. Actually, it's real.
I
It's
know it's
fake
real.
news.
I know it's real. I know it's a real thing, but come on.
It used to
We
be to
don't
be
have we
the
don't have
command for
starships
the
or
Air
anything like
Force.
that. You know
It
what I'm
used to
saying?
be
So
the
why is there
second
a space
command.
force?
I think it's when I actually saw it in Hawaii when I was stationed at Pearl Harbor Hickam. They do have a Space Command there.
Hmm.
I believe that's probably one of the bases for Space Force as well. But when I found out that was a real thing, I was like, so basically they're just doing satellite stuff, and
Yeah,
they're
right
doing
now.
stuff they do in the Air Force, but they still got more stuff that's in space, like satellites and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So let's talk diet. Okay.
All right.
I've tried a lot of different eating methods, nutrition methods,
Mm-hmm.
tons of them. I've tried keto, I've tried paleo, carnivore. You know what I'm saying? I tried vegan for 2 days. I couldn't do it any. Honestly, being honest, I couldn't do it any longer than that. I was over it. It's 2 days. I was over it
Yo,
in 2 days, man. I honestly couldn't do it any longer than that. Like, nah, this ain't for me. This ain't gonna work. I can't do it long term. I was like, no, I can't do that. Nope. So, how about you? What about your diet? What do you do to stay in shape? How do you eat? And
mm,
what led you to that conclusion?
all right. So let's see. I started off with just the basic American diet at first. I'm talking about when I was younger and stuff, like my teens. So you eat your, your, your wheats, your breads, basically carbs up, and your vegetables and stuff like that, and then your dairies and your protein. Like I actually went by the standard pyramid when I was younger because I ain't know no better. I just did what I was told. Then as I got older, because my like I said, my body composition, I never really had a reason to change what I eat because I basically remained the same. I was always a skinny guy. Um, then as I got older and I wanted to try something because of health purposes, not because I wanted to look different, I tried to go vegetarian. Again, just listening to what everyone says, green, clean, all that stuff like that. It's good to be clean, healthy, and stuff like that. So you try to eat more vegetables. I was a vegetarian for about 6 months, and the only reason why I stopped was because, being military, I go back home and I got a new lifestyle, and I just hated being an inconvenience to the people I would go visit, whether that's my in-laws who are in Taiwan, or it'd be my family here in Jersey. So like I didn't want them to go out their way to go buy more vegetables and prepare for me. And I was just like, no, no, whatever I got, just what I'm saying. I'm not doing it for moral reasons. I'm just doing it for health purposes, what I'm saying. And I just felt that even at that time it was just extreme. So I said, I'm just gonna just stop with all this. I'll just be mindful, what I'm saying. I increase more veggie intake. Cause that's what it was. My conscience was like, you don't eat enough vegetables, just increasing. Better just become a vegetarian, see if your life changes, whatever. I lost a little bit of weight, but not a whole lot, just a little bit, what I'm saying? Um, then I say, you know what? The next diet that I tried was fish. Because after vegetarian, I just wanted to become basically just eating Mediterranean diet, olive oil and olives and fish. Because I was in Spain, so I actually did try the Mediterranean diet for a little bit. Um, I did that for a long time. That was one of my better diets. I was good with that. That was actually not that bad. A few carbs, few meats, few vegetables,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
more fish.
yeah.
That was actually one of my better clean diets. But then I left that area, went to my next command, and I was in Japan. And this is where I had like three different types of diets, man. Oh man. Because as soon as I got to Japan, it was mostly rice and noodles, man. I'm telling you, every dish had rice, man. And within 3 months, I got my blood work done. You check in the command, you get your physical health assessment taken care of and stuff like that. It was like you have a lot of good cholesterol, you have good high cholesterol, but you have a little bit of hypertension. I was like, what? I said, hell no. I said, oh man, how did this even happen? I said, the rice. Ah, because my rice intake was so drastic. I mean, I did notice it. Like I said, this is the fattest I've ever been too. I went from 220 to 230 within 3 months. I knew that was fat. I knew it wasn't water, maybe a little water weight, but that was mostly fat. I knew it had to be. You know what I'm saying? I never put on weight that fast. And I said, my diet's so different here. It's having an effect on me from snoring. all types of stuff, man. Like I never snorted this much. My wife was like, "Babe, you snore and stuff." I'm like, "What?" So it was just changes. That's why I started to really look into nutrition and what I can do. So then I went to, I think I went to, I'm trying to think what came first. I think I did carnivore diet first. I went extreme again. I went to another extreme. I went to a strict carnivore. I'm not gonna lie, for I think I did that for like 2 months. Two
It's
months of
good, wasn't it?
carnivore. Oh yeah, bro. I was
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's nice, isn't it?
oh,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I was in some of the best shape of my life, man. I tried to
yeah,
say, I mean, 2 weeks. Like I would say, I had the brain fog thing for about 10 days. Like it just got brain fog. I just felt like I don't know. You wake up in the morning, you get groggy, whatever. It was kind of like that a little bit. It was just like, man, I felt slower. I'm like, man, why am I
hmm
feeling so slow? Like my response time was just slower. I'm like, man, what the hell's going on? But that's just because when you make this is with any diet you go to, the moment you switch up your eating habits so drastically about your body able to adapt to it slowly and gradually, you're going to see certain side effects because of that. Because you're moving it too fast. You got to gradually move over to something like that. You don't just go straight into cut cold turkey. You're going to have side effects from that. You have withdrawals, all side of stuff. Your body has to readjust how it
yeah,
absorbs energy and stuff like that. So, and what energy that you was relying on before. So that's why, like for me, I lost a lot of the grogginess because your brain needs most of the sugar for the most part. That's where a lot of the energy, electrolytes, and all stuff goes to. So your brain, that's where a lot of that stuff is released from as well too. So that's why I felt so groggy because I didn't have the sugar anymore. That's nothing too. I cut the
yeah. You
sugar
didn't have
out,
any
man.
insulin, and you didn't have any insulin spikes because
Yeah,
rice
I
does
was.
that. Rice spikes the insulin. Yeah,
Yep. So I didn't
a
have
lot like
none of
candy
that in my
will.
system. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Rice will spike
Oh,
the insulin just a lot like candy will. But yeah, go ahead.
so this just reminded me. That was the one thing I learned in Spain when I was on that pescatarian diet. That I picked up a saying. I said that there's a three S's to success when it comes to your health, when it comes to eating, that you should take consideration of. Serving size, salt, and sugar. Those are my three S's to success. Serving size, salt, and sugar. Serving size to me is probably the hardest thing for most people to work on because being American culture, we're taught to eat all the food off your plate when you're a little kid. You know what I'm saying? And our serving sizes are big, but we're incentivized when we're younger. If you want dessert, you want that nice treat, eat everything on your plate. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste no food. And sometimes parents, I don't think they're mindful of how much food that they're actually putting on the plate. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're good and full. You eat till you're full, but that's the issue itself. You don't eat till you're full. You eat until you're satisfied. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Full, if you actually feel like, oh God, you messed up. Just so you know, you overate. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's overeating. You don't understand. Like, but that's the thing. We're taught that. We're taught to eat until you're full. And you're just saying eat until you overeat. You don't eat to overeat. Eat until you're satisfied. There are certain foods that will satisfy you a lot faster, a lot easier. Little tricks from that I learned, black coffee obviously being one of the first one thing about people think about, get some black coffee. Black coffee's nasty. I don't like eating that. When I was on a carnivore diet, that's when I realized what satisfaction is. I would have me a certain amount of ounces of steak. I would be good for hours on end with that steak in my stomach. But that's it. There's certain
yes, you
foods that
will. I'm trying to tell you.
I tried to tell people. I said, man, that thing it changed. Converse that changed my life. But then I said it was so extreme. You know what I'm saying? And there was still certain things. For some reason, my wife, she's into this whole game nutrition and stuff. She's done more studies than I have. She's a personal trainer right now. She has her own business. She's running and stuff. She's Gucci. I'm gonna help her do that when I'm out the military. We're gonna do it together. Right now, she's far ahead of me when it comes to this. She's qualified, all that stuff. So I'm getting little tips from her as well. Um, when it comes to nutrition, I got off of it a little bit and went more towards keto, and that's currently where I'm at to this day. I'm at keto. I took my advice. I still watch my sugar. You know what I'm saying? Sugar intake, salt intake, and serving size. That has always been the core essential to, I would say, proper eating for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, I was told by Jay Speed. You know Jay Speed. We used to be chopping it up on. Yeah, he told us, your body will tell you if you pay attention to what it is your body's responding to. You know what I'm saying? Like smells, bad smells, bad body odors, even your stool, um, all the waste that comes off your body, your sleep deprivation, hair loss, wrinkles, nails. Just pay attention to your body. You'll see what's going on. You have to do so because it's a chemical breakdown. You're putting food, but it's going to be processed into different places in your body. It's going to do things and affect you like a chemical. It's going to chemically break down your body and do things to you. So transform you in some ways. You have to be mindful of what it's doing to you. You know what I'm saying? Once I started realizing what certain foods are doing to me, I was like getting bloated, inflammation, all these things. I took note of that, especially when I was a carnivore. I realized that yeah, I didn't have as much gas anymore. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have there's a lot of things I was just like experiencing for myself. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't like I'm not trying to promote those who go carnivore like that, but I would say look into it, do your research, understand what food is doing to your body by being mindful of it, and then take it from there and adjust. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the reason I can't be so extreme, is because we are different, not just genetically, but even with your bio gut, the bacteria that's in your gut and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some people have certain enzymes, others don't. You know what I'm saying? So this is why people are like, well, I mean, like for me, I'm lactose intolerant. I can't. That happened. I don't know how that happened, but I mean, I know when it happened. I was in the Middle East. The milk they have there is different. I'm just going to tell you, it's different.
Yes.
I I drank that milk, and I was like, oh, this is different. Tastes kind of good though, but it's different. And then I go back to the states, and I was fucked. It was, nope, I couldn't do it no more. I was done. My stomach was done. I was like, oh my god, I'm about to die. Like I'm so bloated, and like it was hurt. It was so painful. And of course, I had to go to the bathroom after that. But it was just, I was like, I'm lactose intolerant. How did this happen? It's because I went from one different. It's like I went from one thing, and it just changed something in me. I got some new enzymes in me now from this country, and now I can't mess with the stuff back in the states no more. I'm just like that messed me up. I can't mess with no milk products. Not from my own country anyway, but I'm done. But it's just like I said, like if you just listen to your body, it's gonna tell you what's good and what's not good for you. From even the taste, you can taste certain food and know it's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I looked into where it's just like your body will tell you if you don't ignore. But let's say sometimes like spicy food has pros and cons to it, but technically it's not really good for you neither. It's like the food is telling you don't eat me. I'm hot, but be like I like hot. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right.
There's so many things that we do to ourselves that we just don't realize we're doing. I mean, look at how your body reacts to spicy food. You get snot, inflammation, tears. Your
Yeah,
body is
the
literally
way your body
rejecting it.
respond to the capsaicin
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
in the spiciness. Yeah,
Your
your
body is
body's telling you
actually
I don't want
rejecting
it.
it.
Yeah, your body's
Yeah.
telling you I don't want it. Look at this. My body tells me lifting weights is bad for me. Tommy B.
Hey man. Hey, it is what it is. Maybe you gotta just stick to push-ups and pull-ups. Who knows?
You're right. Do some calisthenics, man. Tommy B is 6'4". Tommy
Oh
B, you
wow.
can't be 6'4" and built like spaghetti noodles. You can't. No, come on, man.
Man, I would hate to be that tall, man, because I love cars too much, man. I'm already at the max limit for my
Well, you're
car,
almost
six
there,
two.
aren't you?
Yeah, I know. As I said, I'm at that max limit at 6'2". Like, if I was any bigger, man, I'd be crying. Like, I'd lose my car. I wouldn't be able to fit in no more, man. Sheesh.
Yeah, I tell people that diet is number one when it comes to this whole thing. It's always number one. And like in the military, it's not the healthiest food in the military chow hall.
No, definitely not.
It's not the most healthy food. It's not. So you have to take it upon yourself to go to the grocery store and buy things that are healthy, or try to make as healthy choices as you can when you're in there. And look at this. I'm 6'4", 225 pounds. I do my
Oh, he's
push-ups.
good. He's actually very
Yeah,
good.
he's
That's
actually
not
really
to.
You
Yeah,
6'4", 225. You're actually really really good.
yeah.
Yeah, and so right now that's where you're now. And more, so you taking much more of a balanced approach, or more towards keto? You say?
I'm more towards keto. I'm still like because it's I don't carbs aren't necessary, but the reason why I could take on a little bit of carbs because I do work out, and there is a gain if you're going to try to have more energy. You know what I'm saying? It's just extra energy stored. And if you're going to use it, use it. That's the whole point of even carbon up, just so you can have extra energy to use. If you're not going to use it, you know what I'm saying? People who don't work out or don't have ways to burn energy, it's only going to store on you. Your sugar turns into everything else in your body and it has to be stored somewhere else because you're not going to use it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's going to go to the brain for the most part, but then in other places, it's going to store as fat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
the
like,
body's going to
I,
use what it needs to use, and it's going to store the
yes,
rest.
that's what I'm saying. Like for most people, they don't, it's like, it's only bad to have excessive, main word, excessive carbs, and if you're not going to use it. I mean, there's some people I know now who are saying they're carnivores, and I follow the channel. He would probably hate me for saying this. He would be like, "No, you don't need carbs at all. You don't need carbs ever." Eventually, you get to a point to where your body, da 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 da. And I was like, he's not wrong. You know, you'll come to a point where your body does adapt and does produce the necessary, main word, necessary energy you need. The truth is this: when I work out, I am being extreme. Why? Because I'm literally trying to find ways to break my body down to prepare itself to come back bigger and stronger. I'm trying to improve. I'm not maintaining. That would be what's necessary. Necessary is like I'm maintaining. I'm only doing what's necessary to maintain myself. If I go any more, which is why I'm saying I'm taking carbs, so I can dish out more, so I can improve more. I want to push my limits. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just trying to live a normal life, not trying to go further, just trying to maintain your health, you don't need carbs. Unless you're going to use it, you don't necessarily need it. So I've been studying proving that you do not need these things in your body.
Right. And also, I think it's important that people know that there are different types of carbohydrates. There's starchy
Yes.
carbohydrates and there's fibrous carbohydrates. The
Mm-hmm.
carbs that you should be consuming more of is fibrous carbohydrates. Those are fruits and vegetables. All
Mm-hmm.
fruits, all vegetables are carbohydrates, but they're fibrous carbohydrates. That's why you talk to a doctor or a nutritionist, they don't mention them when they mention carbohydrates because people don't think of fruits and vegetables when you say carbs. Yeah, they
It's
think of
true.
rice, potatoes, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Also, like there's good kinds of fat. The fat you get from
Yes.
say olive oil or avocados or avocado oil. Yeah. And also butter. People like, no,
Yes.
no. Remember back in the day they used to say butter wasn't good for you, but it
Yeah.
is actually. It's
Yes.
fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine to cook with butter. What are you talking? What are you doing? But the jig's up and the veil been lifted on a lot of that nowadays. But
Yeah,
people
man.
people are still taking still taking to listening to old things that used to be said back in the day. Tommy B says chow hall makes McDonald's look like vegan food.
Oh, I was
Yeah, the
gonna
chow hall
say,
food is not good, man. It's not good for you, man. Yeah,
I'd say, yeah. Also, I learned this in Spain that the food they get is actually the same food they get in prisons, man.
it
I was
is.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
bro, I was like,
It's the
that's
same food they
insane.
get. It's the same food they get prisoners in the
I was
penitentiary. It's
like,
like as
oh
big as your
man.
budget is, you can't do better than this. You know what I mean?
That's
Seven
so
hundred billion
hilarious.
dollars. $700 billion budget. This is what we get for food. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? All right,
it is
let's
what it
talk
is,
about
though.
supplementation. Do you take supplements, and what kind do you take?
Yes. Let's see, supplements. I do like taking BCAAs. BCAAs. I take those for recovery purposes. Uh, like I'm trying to like honestly, I would like to wean off of all my supplements over time. I guess I only do it as it pretty much is a cheat because like your body can do a whole lot of things naturally, but you just gotta, you said before, it's like a marathon. Go at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to supplement unless you're not getting the right appropriate nutrition that your body needs to do on its own anyway. But because we do sometimes want to do things at extremes and we're not patient, we take supplements. So BCAAs, I do take those when I kind of want to see, what I would look like bulked up a little bit more, I do take creatine. But that's not too, not, I mean, it's good for recovery as well, muscle and all stuff like that. It's not like it's inside the muscle fibers that kind of makes it, what's that word? Gives them cushion, basically. I do like it and it's good for recovery, but it also gives me a lot of bulk. Water retention's higher and all that stuff like that. So I kind of can
Yeah,
see like, okay, that's what I'm gonna look like when I get a little more. All right, it's just something to look. It's more of a psychological thing to see like, okay, this is what I'm gonna look like when I actually get bulked up a little more. That's the only reason why I would ever take it. and also recovery with the BCAAs. Protein, I don't, man, a long time ago. I haven't had a protein shake in so long, man. My God, because I go to just meat now. I get the source because the protein that they usually give you is a protein from plants, and you usually got like times two, times three the intake to get the proper dosage of you taking the protein in. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
kind of just like left that stuff alone. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, the last protein I had was I think was it was like an oat with almond and other proteins mixing it out. And I was trying to get it peanut butter, chocolate. It was everything trying to concoct in it. It was okay, but it was just like it's not gonna do it, man. I don't care how much peanut butter I put in here to supplement for that lost protein. It's just not gonna work for me, man. So I just went because the best protein to get is like my friend says, yo, just get the meat. You can't beat animal
Yeah,
product, man. It's
you
the
can't
best
beat.
thing.
Yeah, you can't beat red meat. Nothing is going to help you. I was telling people on another panel I was on. I said, listen, you're not going to beat red meat when it comes to protein intake and recovery.
You're
Nothing's
not.
going to help you recover fast except steroids. Nothing aside from that, nothing else is going to help you recover faster than that, man. I mean, now they got the new kid on the block now. It's a supplement called terkesterone, and
Oh, I know
yeah,
about that a little bit. A little bit. Coach
yeah,
Greg, I watch his channel, and
Greg Doucette.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I watch his channel as well.
I was gonna say the other guy, his ex friend Johnny.
Yeah,
I think I watched the
Johnny
video.
Shriv.
He was just talking about how much of a scam it is, something like that. I have to go watch the video to see what he's talking about. But yeah, I was looking at that.
But the thing
I
is,
was.
reason why people are so skeptical. Oh, 1 minute.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in a minute. I'm gonna acknowledge here in a minute. Listen, the reason why people are saying it's a scam or whatever is because there's just simply not enough research out there about it. It hasn't been researched
Yes.
enough. So most of the research that we have on it is still considered anecdotal. You know what I'm saying? It's still considered not enough.
Hmm.
But because some people saying, yeah, I did testosterone for 8 months and look at my results, and they got good results, but it's like you still have to wonder, like, okay, now are the results from you consistently working out and eating right for 8 months, or is it from the testosterone? like
Yeah.
you,
So they try.
like you know, what I'm saying that
Yeah.
still we still don't know. It's like, okay, let's take a person who's already in shape, put them on testosterone and nothing else, and see what the results look like there. Run blood tests, the whole nine. Do measurements of body fat percentages. Let's see what this does. And you need different people with different types of disciplines, working out in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So you need
Mm,
you need a nice sample size of people who work out this way, that way, that way, that way. Eat this way, eat that way. You know, it's a big process.
yeah, it
That's
is.
why you got creatine. That's why people sing the praises of creatine because okay, we know what that is now. We've studied it for long enough. It's been studied for decades and tested for
Yeah.
decades. We know
Yep.
it. We know what creatine does now. You know, same thing with anabolic steroids or any kind of anabolic or performance enhancers. Like, oh yeah, we know what that is. It don't take much to figure to learn what those do, but I recommend people stay away from that. If a doctor, even if a doctor prescribes it to you, no, never mind. But testosterone is largely untested. That's why there's so many skeptics about it. And I don't
Mm,
want to take anything unless it's. I want to know what I'm
yeah.
putting in my body.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's me when it comes to supplementation. I take vitamin D and vitamin B because most people are largely vitamin D deficient
Yeah, yeah.
and don't know it. You know, because they don't get outside enough to absorb it from the sun
Hmm.
and stuff. And you don't get a lot of it from food. You know, they don't eat the foods to get it from there. You know what I'm saying? So I do take vitamin D um, with calcium. You know what I'm saying? With calcium supplements with vitamin D3 and the whole nine in it. B, and I take a good multivitamin.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say B12. I took vitamin D, vitamin C, and I did start it, but I stopped. I had zinc as well. I was taking some zinc. But it's not necessary though. When I was a carnivore, there was no need for zinc because I was eating lots of different animals and stuff that already had it in its diet. Even with I never had to take collagen because I learned, well, I should have learned this obviously. eating just skins of certain animals would give you that too. Same effect. So I mean, it's like you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. You are what you eat. You can get all that stuff from food. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, it's by the way, shout out to Mrs. She Said in the chat. Shout out to her. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Hassan. Easy Money Jones has just pulled in. Great Pill Podcast just got here. Shout out to Lady Navoa. She and Tommy B are two of my moderators. Shout out to y'all and thank y'all for coming. Hope y'all enjoying the content. Now, Marvelous. I normally shout out to Mr. Bennett. He's just not pulling up.
Okay.
This is the first time I've done a live stream in a minute. This is my first one of 2024, in fact.
Okay.
So,
Oh shoot.
yeah.
I feel honored.
Yeah. Kicking the door in with you,
Thanks.
But yeah, I think the supplementation thing is getting out of hand. Like BCAAs, I don't take those. Just me personally, I'm like, why? I get it from food.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like with you with the protein. You know what I'm saying? I'm that way with the BCAAs. I'm like, I get it. I eat meat. I don't need it.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? But if you want some extra supplementation, I supplement micronutrients that I might be deficient in. Like you said, the vitamin
that's
D.
appropriate. Yeah, that's appropriate to do.
Yeah, and I take protein shakes sometimes, but not right now because I'm on a cut. I'm getting down to size. There's really no point. I'll recover when I recover. But when I'm down to about 185, and I start putting trying to put the muscle back on, I'll get some protein then just to supplement for more protein, to get more protein intake. Because I mean, in protein shakes, I'll drink about 3 of them a day. Because that's about 75 grams of protein. And keep in mind, the protein shakes, you're not going to absorb all that protein.
No, yeah, not in one serving like that. It's
No.
spread over time.
Yeah, so I spread them out throughout the day, but also eat meat when I'm putting on muscle, And protein shakes have gotten expensive for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I see the good ones are. I saw a good. There's one that's a really good one. I saw it for $50. I was like, yeah.
How many? How big was it? How many? I said, what's ounces? How many ounces was it?
I forget how many ounces it was, but
was it a pound or half a pound?
It was a pound.
Okay, that sounds about right. I think that's when I left off. It was still about. It depends what brand it was, but yeah, I think like the Muscle Tech, their pounds like $50 for their John. Half a pound was about $35, something like that. Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. It was close to that. It was never really cheap. It depends on what it's also made out of too, because they had certain where had egg in it, and some other ones had plant in it. You know what I mean? Depends on what brand you got.
Now, certain foods that we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna drop the link and open the panel up for questions, questions and whatnot. So when it comes to certain foods that you don't eat, because I know that eggs have gotten a bad rap over the years, and for no reason. It's because people just don't know. Like people like, no, the yolk and stuff like that, it's not good for you. It's like, because I've done my research on the study when they tried to connect it to cancer and heart disease, stuff like that. It's like, and it was like, turns out no. It wasn't because of the eggs. You know what I'm saying? It's just eggs. These people just happen to eat eggs who are in this study. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just happen to eat eggs. You know what I'm saying? Because most people eat eggs in America. You know what I mean? Most people do.
Just that. Think about this. Here's common sense for you, right? Before we even, did our studies about cancer and stuff like that, we was eating eggs and bacon since forever almost. All right.
Yeah.
We didn't have all these health complications until recent times. What's different? What's different is how we prepare our food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The tools we use are different. The methods are different. So, because the egg is as natural as it can be. But that's nothing too. You also got eggs that are produced in certain ways and carried out, and you know what I mean.
How the chickens are cared for. Like, that's why
some changes.
Yeah, that's why I only eat cage-free eggs. Like, I try to find some farmers around who have chickens, and I'll buy the eggs because they're cheap as all. Like, what?
Thank you for saying
It's
this.
so cheap. Yeah. Like what I would spend on a dozen eggs in a store, I can get like 50 eggs for the same price. Like like a whole corner of my refrigerator would be nothing but eggs. You know what I'm saying? This is like I gotta find some place to put these things, you know? But
Man, I bet you
but
trying to
yeah,
trick
and
people.
people think that but the yolk and stuff, that's a developing chicken. It's like, no, it's not. It's not a
No,
developing chicken.
it's not even half a chicken. There's farm
Right. It's
involved, bro. Like,
what that is. So people, what the yolk and the clear stuff in the inside of an egg is, those are the nutrients that are in there for a chick. Like say the chicken gets pregnant, that's what the chick would use for nutrition, because it's not getting nutrition from the mother like we do, because we have an umbilical cord and we get the nutrition from our mother. They don't have that. So all the nutrition they're going to get is already inside the egg. That's what that is. And it has every essential vitamin in it. Eggs do. The thing's like a little multivitamin. It is.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It really is. Eggs are actually fantastic. Look at Tommy B. Tommy B says, I got 5 dozen for $10.
Damn, not bad at all.
He's saying Costco eggs cheap. Salute to Mr. Bennett. Thank you for coming up here, man. So she's saying, so egg whites are better than whole eggs? No, it really doesn't matter, to be honest. I mean, eat the whole egg and get all the nutrients. Just eat the egg. You know?
Yeah.
Come to find out, like I said, come to find out, no, they get a bad rep. So for you, what are some foods that you recommend people stay away from?
Classics. So I was always told to stay away from white foods. When I say white foods, I mean like sugar itself, white milk,
white sugar, white milk.
white rice,
Yeah.
all that stuff. They say if it's white, stay away from it. You know, that was always the classic. For me, I just tell people just be mindful of sugar, man. Like legit, like our people, black people in particular, okay, we have, you know, I don't know why we think this. It's like we think that we're likely to get diabetes in our DNA or something like that, some crazy stuff. And it's like that's not how that works. You're not going to be predisposed to diabetes. You're not gonna be born with sugar in your blood already. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Um, it's all about nutrition. It's about what we eat. Our culture, particularly, you know what I'm saying, we have soul food. You know what I'm saying? But we know why that food exists, why the technique of soul food exists. The technique of soul food exists because when our ancestors were fed certain foods that were not stomachable, that actually were not even really edible, but we did the best to make what we had. So what we do, we over seasoned our food. You know what I'm saying? Put a lot of sugar, a lot of salt to get rid of that taste. Hold up, my sister decline.
So our people, we still carry on that same technique. And it's just like we know better now through science. So
I can't. I gotta call you back. Hold up, not that.
it keeps calling me, sorry.
No problem.
But it's just like, we have to get over we have to at least overcome certain things. We know better. We can do better. We're not going to just, for the sake of, our traditions, that we're not going to try to make things better because we're not in that state no more. We're in a better place. You know what I'm saying? No one's feeding us and saying, eat this. You have no choice. No, we have a choice. We can do better with the choices that we know. But it's just like we hold on to certain traditions that we should not have to hold on anymore. That being one of them. Over seasoning the food, putting too much sugar and too much salt in the food for taste. And that's another thing too, you guys, is in America in general, not just our people. Our food actually is oversaturated. Our taste buds have taken a hit because of that. And every time we go to the country, our people, Americans, they'll eat the food and say, it don't taste that sweet, or it don't taste that salty. I can barely taste the food. That's because your senses are so numbed down. It's almost like, it's like your tongue is just like any other sense, it's taste, right? Sound is the same thing. Like once you hear so much, you start to go, slightly deaf. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with your tongue. If you oversaturate your tongue, it starts to lose its edge. And if you think I'm joking, try it for yourself, right? try to go on a. Well, I don't want to say it, but you have to. In order, you go on a. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Sorry, it's my sister.
It's okay.
If you go on a 3-day fast. After that 3-day fast, food is going to taste so much different. I'm not kidding. I'm talking about only thing you can do is like no tea, no coffee, water only. You go on a water only thing for 3 days, your taste buds is going to be rejuvenated. You're going to taste food and it's going to be so like, oh my God, it's so sweet. Oh my God, it's going to taste so amazing because again, you're giving your taste buds a break, you know? And that's the thing, like we don't realize how bad it is because we're so adjusted to this palate. You know what I'm saying? It's so extreme, but we're so adjusted to it. And it's normal, but it shouldn't be because it's too extreme. But we don't realize how extreme it is, how excessive it is until we go somewhere else. And they taste our food. And my wife from Taiwan, she's like, your food, your cakes and candies and ice cream is so sweet. It's too sweet. Your coffee at Starbucks is way too sweet. And I'm like, nah, it's normal to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Like when they come over here and eat cakes and stuff like that, it's because we load things with sugar. You know what I'm saying? And to people from other countries, it's like, yeah, it's too sweet. You know what I'm saying? And we use a lot of salt and stuff like that. But we do have a guest to come up here and ask questions and add to the conversation. Please welcome Tommy B.
What's that?
What's going on?
Not much.
Sailor,
Nah, got it,
for some reason. You two Navy guys.
Hey man, listen. When we went overseas, we had fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had
that's what
fun
they selling
too.
me on. No.
in
We had
different
fun. No, I do intermittent fasting, but I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, because I've done the I'm trying to remember what's the longest fast I did. It was either like I think it was like 4 days where it's just straight water, just because I was just challenging myself.
Yeah.
It seems like when you say it out your mouth, it seems hard, but for me, pause. Whoa, that was crazy. But it actually wasn't. It wasn't that bad. I tell people all the time, like water is a filler. So every time I felt hungry, whenever I drank like a couple bottles of water, it would literally just take that feeling away. But what I will say though is food didn't taste different to me, but I noticed that I couldn't eat as much as I normally could. So that right there definitely changed the way that I could eat. Whereas like I used to say I'd be able to eat like say 2 cheeseburgers, fries, or something like that, and it went to where shit I would eat 1 cheeseburger and I might not even finish my fries type shit. Like it dramatically changed the portions that I could actually eat. And but what I tell people is I tend to like I go on these fast. So I check my body weight every day, and I think that's the big thing that people don't do because they don't want to see that number. For me, I want to see the number because what I tell people is people like to say, "Oh, this happened overnight." You don't get fat overnight. It's a process. The reason why it seems like it's overnight because your ass ain't looked at a scale in 2 years, and when you finally look at a scale, that number done jumped on you. But for me, I literally see myself pound for pound going up. And then I have a limit. And once I hit that limit, I'll do my intermittent fast. And I'm telling you, when I do an intermittent fast, it's nothing to knock down 30 pounds in about a month and a half, if that. And that's not even, I mean, well, I guess it's kind of strict because I do OMAD, 1 meal a day. And I'm not super strict on it because I say like, one thing I think people mess up with when they do diets is they'll have a cheat day. I never had a cheat day. I have like a cheat meal where I just feel like, you know what, fuck it. I just feel like eating this. So I'll eat it, but then as soon as I eat that, I go right back to my routine. Yeah. I don't let that turn into a routine. So I don't have a specific day that I'm looking forward to so then I could just pile up a bunch of cookies and bullshit. It's just something might pop up and somebody say, like, hey, let's go to dinner. And I know I'm not supposed to eat at that time. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just go. And then immediately after that, I go right back into what I was doing. So I think that's a big thing for people because, for me, I think a lot of people, a cheat day turns into a cheat couple days, turns into a cheat week, and then you're right back on the same shit you was on before. Yep. But For sure, intermittent fasting for me personally, and they got apps and stuff to help you track it and all this and that, and it tells you exactly what your body is going through as the hours pass by. If you are not eating, it helps replenish white blood cells. It helps with your immunity, a lot
Yep.
of stuff. So, and like I said, you lose weight fast as fuck. Like I mean, I went into an intermittent fasting group and I told them how much weight I lost, and they thought I was just lying. And I'm like, what do I have? What do I gain from lying to y'all? You know, um, but like I said, you have to stick to it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't do. Even with the exercise, and like while I was doing it, my exercise was just walking. So you know, we all on our phone have step counters. So
Mm,
I would walk like 20,000 steps a day, and like I said, that weight just fell off of me.
mm.
Yeah,
That's not
because
bad.
he was on intermittent fasting and you were exercising at the same time. People exclude that. You still need to move your body. You still
I
got to
can see
move.
that.
You know, so you still have to move. I mean, whether it's picking stuff, heavy stuff up and down, which Tommy already told us he ain't with that. I asked Tommy one time, I said, Tommy, what? Won't you, man, you 6'4". Tommy, you have any idea how much of an animal you'd be if you lift weights? Hey, I can't lift weights, man, Drill. I said, why not? He said, because them shits is heavy. I'm like, that's the point.
Nah, but you know what though? I'm kind of in the same area as Tommy. It must be a little bit worse for him though because he's 2 more inches bigger. Man, you understand? Like finding clothes or shoes is already a pain in the butt, man. If you had to put on more mass, oh my god, bro! Like all the good clothes is gone, bro. Even ones your size, you be like, yo, who bought big man clothes? You're like, dang, it's that one guy who comes in that you got the shoes before you got your shoes. Like, damn, I just missed them. Or it'd be like, damn, that jacket is just one size too small. Damn, because your back fills out too much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you stay where you at, brother. If you 6'4", 225, stay right there, bro. Ain't no love for you if you get any bigger, bro.
No, because I'm 5'8" and I'm wide. You know what I'm saying? I got big shoulders and a wide back. You know what I mean? So either
Mm,
there's some clothes I get, like even t-shirts, I have to get them tapered. I have to
mm,
get them tapered in. You know what I'm saying? Because like I can't find any of that. If you say it's a shirt or something that I actually really really like, it
yeah,
won't fit right. Even though
yeah.
it's my size, but it won't fit right. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of hanging off me. I'm just like, all right, I got to take this to like Men's Warehouse or a tailor or something like that. I'll take it to
Mm-hmm,
a tailor or Men's Warehouse or something like that and have them taper it in. You know, I would bring this
mm-hmm.
in at least an inch and a half, please. So then they'll put the pins in it and just okay, let's just see what it looks like first. And they'll go through that whole process. This is what it's like if it's
Yep.
an inch and a half in, 2 inches in. It just depends on how you want it to fit. And they'll cut the fabric, they'll do it. Yeah. Like you said, man, sometimes but you guys are tall though. You
Yeah.
guys are over 6 foot.
Yeah.
You're six
It's
two,
no.
Tommy's 6'4". I'm like, man, listen, to be tall and built like that, that's
Yeah, man. No
it's
love
rough
for
enough for
you.
me. Like I can't imagine.
Hey, put your seatbelt on.
Tom, yeah, there we go. He got he dropped off.
Nah.
Okay. I guess he's busy. He's
Oh,
about to head out with his family or something.
yeah. I was gonna ask him. I was gonna say, what did he find more challenging? Eating appropriately or working out efficiently?
Hmm. That's a good question for you. What do you find more challenging?
Woo. Nah, I have to say eating. Eating is way my tongue, no homo, pause, is definitely like one of the hardest things to take control over. My body, because one is the body, I like seeing what it's doing. So when I'm exercising, I go in the mirror, I'm already motivated. Like, all right, cool, I like how that looks in X, Y, and Z. Like I'm doing exactly what I'm seeing what I want to see. I'm motivated. But when it comes to food, it's like purpose and intent and sometimes it's like is it really like you have pleasure, but it's like am I really getting what I want to taste, I have a craving for, is it good for me? So you're not really getting the pleasure aspect of it if you're just trying to eat right. Sometimes you're just eating because you have to fill up and you have, you can make your food tasty, but like when you're on a, like I said, the carnivore diet, I tried some different methods of cooking the meat and trying different forms of what it comes in and all sort of stuff. And then you still like you don't necessarily hit a plateau, but you just have to be more creative. So you're thinking it's more of a mental game when it comes to it's more mental than physical. You know what I'm saying? So that's why to me, like the mental aspect is more tougher for me to grasp than the physical part. The physical part is way easier for me to do because I can handle the body. The mind is a pain in the butt to handle with. It really
Yeah.
is.
I think the weirdest thing for myself is eating, but not having that stuffed full feeling. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I know what you're
Because
talking
I'm
about.
used to eating until I get full and you're like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And it's like, man, but then I start eating healthy and it's just like, yeah, I'm full, but I don't feel stuffed, because and then I notice
yeah.
when I eat healthy, like say I have some a chicken breast, some vegetables, and black beans or
Mm,
chickpeas or something like that, right? Or lentils.
mm,
Um, I'll eat it and I'm full, but I don't feel stuffed, and it's just like, yo, this is different. But the thing is, I'll proportion it out. The whole meal will be like 450 calories.
mm. That's
But
decent.
yeah, but it's like I have trouble finishing it. It's just so much food.
Oh,
That's
so
the thing. Yeah, depending on what you're eating, it could be a lot of food. Healthy food it could be a lot depending on what you're eating. Like it'd be a cup of black beans, just one chicken breast that's chopped up. I let it sit in some marinade overnight,
mm,
and then the next day, around lunchtime, I fry it up and eat it. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And then the vegetables, it's 4 cups of vegetables. It's like broccoli, squash, zucchini, cauliflower, carrots. You know what I'm saying? So it's all that I just take it in a bag. I just take a measuring cup of a cup and just put it on a pan. I roast them for about 15, 20 minutes and just then I'm done. But that's a lot. It turned out to be a lot of food, man. Sometimes I have trouble finishing it. It's a
mm.
lot. Once I get past the meat and the vegetables, the beans sitting there, I'm like, Jesus, I got more to eat. But I have to eat it because it's like, okay, I don't want to underfeed myself,
Okay.
you know.
Oh, you know
Because
what
again,
though?
it's only about 450, 470 calories, something like that. I eat
Let's
that
talk about
twice. I eat one for lunch, I eat one for dinner, like that. But then I have
let's talk
breakfast, which
about
is
that.
oatmeal and eggs, huh?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Calories.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a guy that explained something to me when it comes to calories, and I understand his plight. It actually makes perfect sense. All right, calories for the most part is pseudoscience. It's not accurate, and it's not based on anything that is going to show you an exact result and change. To say for the most part, calories is a type of measurement of energy, right? You look up, well, what type of energy is it? Well, a calorie is a measurement of heat. It's not a, it's not energy. It's not anything like that. You know, we do for the most part when it comes to eating food. Food is broken down from mass. You know what I'm saying? It's an actual object. It comes with mass, with weight and size and all that stuff like that. Depending on what that chemical that you're intaking is going to do to the body is going to vary from person to person. I said this before. I said like, how can each apple that you pick off the tree give you the same amount of energy? Especially depending on how that apple was created. Meaning, like, let's say I had an apple, and it's talking about same weight, same size. They share the same weight and same size, but there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
One was created in 1 week, the other one was created in 1 month. So one took more energy to create than the other. But yet you're telling me the energy in both apples are exactly the same.
Yeah, it
You get what I'm
can't be.
saying?
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with fruit, you're dealing with different sizes and shapes of them too. So they can't all have the same amount of calories in them.
They can't. But it's just more of a guesstimate. Even legally, they're allowed to say a certain food has, they could be off by, I think they said 10 or 20% off. They could be
Mm-hmm.
off, I know 10%, 10%. They could be off by 10%. on the energy. But the thing about it is, because me and my friend had a debate about this, it's okay that this system exists because it's just for people to be mindful, give you a something to look at. It's not accurate. So when you said you was full, right? You said, man, my body's already feeling it. You probably were good. You probably had more than enough than what you can take on. But consciously, excuse me, you're thinking like, well, the numbers don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's saying this, and this, but I'm not. I'm already full, and that's crazy because if I had a muffin, which is 350 calories, I'd be like probably three of those things, and that's about over 1,000 calories. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not about the numbers per se. It is, but it's almost impossible to say what type of energy because everybody's body's taking in different energy because of the. Oh, is that J Speed? Oh,
Yeah.
my man's here. What's up, J Speed?
OGJ Speed is here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted
So
to ask Tommy, like, well, he was, because, Tommy said he was on, he did intermittent fasting. I was wondering, like, while he was doing intermittent fasting and working out, was he concerned with his calorie intake? Or did he look at what kind of food did he eat? Tommy, you still there? Oh, okay. Well, you'll give
might
him a
drop
minute
it
to
to you
get
a
it.
little bit.
Yeah. You give him a minute to get
Yeah, but
it.
oh, that's nothing. So I don't
He's
do
sprawling
calorie
on his
counting no
knees
more
trying to get to
though.
the microphone. He's weak. No, not really. I'm on my 15 day of a water fast. So
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'm on 15 days of water fast. I just got over the pneumonia and COVID together. They call it the superbug. And I went straight from just not eating anything. As soon as they say I had it, I just stopped eating anything. And
Oh, Jay, I was gonna say, didn't you didn't want to taught me this. You said mucus would tell it all.
yeah,
So like when you had certain like now I'm glad you taught me that because like as soon as I had enough mucus built up, I immediately increased my water intake and I try to cut back on sugars and everything else like that immediately and let my body does do what it needs to do and just like you said, right now you're on your fast. So you
right.
already again I'm taking your teaching, you're going way ahead with it. 'Cause your body's going to do what it needs to do if you allow it to.
You
What's that you
see,
got there?
you see that
Melon.
right there?
Oh, time. Yeah.
You can make tea out of it, or you can take a tablespoon and just chew it to release the oils and the leaves, and it would start instantly clearing up mucus in your body. It's probably
Mm.
gonna take me 21 days to get all that ailment out of me, and then you can see that I lost weight. My head is much smaller now. It used to be bigger than Mandrell's head, but now it's don't got smaller.
That's
Paul.
a big head.
So, yeah, one of the things I found out for doing this for 40 years is when your body get a overload of mucus, and this is what Dr. Sebi tried to prove to everybody, that most of all the diseases that we catch and the parasites and stuff is in our stomach. And when we start to understand that, you see it in everything else. You see a person who gets on crack, and three weeks, 4 weeks later, the skin change, everything change. We see a person get on crystal, go from looking like 21 years old to 60 years old in less than 6 months. So why do we not know what we consume in our digestive system that don't have a direct effect on everything that we do in life? And as soon as we learn that, we'll learn how to not get ourselves or be able to maintain ourselves even when we get sick. Think about it. One of the things that people try to make you do when you get sick, you got to eat, you got to eat, you got to eat. No, you got to drink water. You
Yes.
don't have to eat, because what you're trying to do is remove these parasitic things and these viruses and these things out of the body. And everything I'm saying now, I'm not saying from a health provider. I'm saying from my anecdotal experience in life. So I want to get his channel marked. So these are things that I have used in my life that has really, really just represent who I am, what I am, and why I'm here. And what I'm trying to teach and what I'm trying to promote is good health. And one of the things that we don't talk about enough is our nutritional value versus calories and all that other stuff. And I think he was just getting into that. because you can eat that muffin, but you got other things that's gonna come from that muffin. Gluten. You got gluten that's gonna have effect on your body, might not have effect on your calorie, but it start giving you cramps in your torso, your stomach. And anybody who eat like this false meat that the Asian people make from flour protein, they call Satan. They make it has like a meat texture. If you eat consume a lot of that, you gonna start having stomach cramps because that's nothing but gluten. That's what flour protein is. It's the part that makes, like when you eat noodles. You ever notice noodles has this hardness about itself? So that's what they use. It's called flour protein to make noodles. And so when you start eating false meat, what they do is boil flour and then they get the hard part out of it and they disregard all the rest of it. And they take that and chop it up and make it seem like meat texture. But you eating nothing but 100% gluten.
I'm glad you're here, J Speed. Look,
Yeah, I didn't know
you're one
that
of the
part.
teachers. You're one
Yeah.
of the teachers, man. I'm glad you're here.
Tommy B, you still there?
Yeah, what's up? What's happening, OG?
You back
Hey,
with
you
us.
got it, my brother. You got it. Nice suit, that is. Nice suit.
Yeah, Tommy.
I hope she said I do.
Seriously, look at him.
Hey, I was stuck for a minute. I said, what are you talking about? Hey, don't be scaring me like that, OG.
Yeah, but Tommy, I wanted to ask you, like, when you were doing your when you do your intermittent fasting, are you concerned with your calorie count, or what type of foods do you eat? Are you, like, what are you eating while
So,
you're doing your fast?
I to be honest with you, I think like some of the stuff that y'all talking about as far as like counting calories, a lot of that is more like when you're trying to sculpt your body. For me, because it's only one meal a day, so what I tend to do is I know how I regularly eat, right? And then I just try to eat healthier than that. And then what I try to do is I try to find stuff that I actually like that's healthy. So like baked chicken is better than fried chicken. Well, I don't have a problem with baked chicken. I like it just as much. So I'll just have baked chicken all week, or or baked fish all week. I like corn, so I eat corn. I like string beans. I eat string. Like I stay within what I like, so it's easier for me to stay on that diet. I think the problem is people, research these healthy foods and then you don't like them. And then more than likely, you're going to eat it a couple of times and be like, fuck this. I want to eat something I like. So I actually find stuff that I like. Fruits. I never had a problem with fruits. So I'll eat a lot of fruits. And so in my mind, what I'll do is, okay, around this time, I'll be eating potato chips. Instead, I'm eating pineapples. Normally this meal, I'll be eating like a number one from McDonald's. Instead, I'm eating baked chicken, and even in that meal, I might like throw macaroni and cheese in there. But I'm like, okay, I'm eating baked chicken, string beans, and like macaroni and cheese versus a Big Mac, a large fry, and a large soda. You get what I'm saying? So even though it might not be the healthiest, it's way healthier than when I was eating before. And I'm only eating one meal a day. And then one thing I tell people.
Oh, they were losing?
Maybe he went through a tunnel.
Yeah, it must be in a bad calling area.
I think the food police just arrested him. Go ahead, Tommy. He just got arrested by the food police. But he's correct about the one meal a day. I've been doing that for 40 years now, and it makes a difference. And people, please, regardless of what you eat, if you stay with 75-25, 75% vegetables and 25% meat, you always gonna be in a safe place. I'm not one of these people thump people across the head, say don't eat meat and all that kind of stuff like that. I know when you condition yourself, we got addictive personalities. That's kind of hard to get over. But when you can cut and you see the improvement within 7 days of your body, when you do the 75, what I call 75-25. And another thing is learn how to flavor your food. Your food don't have to have boring tastes. You got over thousands and thousands of herbals and spices and stuff like that. learn how to flavor your food and learn how to get the texture you want, because these are very important things into your taste bud. The texture of your food and the flavor of your food. And a lot of things we think flavor have to come from salt. There's so many. Like if anybody ever ate jerk chicken, it has this underneath soft taste to it. It's not overbearing. But that's done from clove and allspice and cinnamon and just a little brown sugar on it. And it brings this underneath taste on it that you just dig in. You can't put your finger on it, but you're like, damn, this is good. So learn how to take different spices and do different things with your food so you can make these flavors explode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes with experimentation. That's how I learned to make different flavors and stuff like that. I try to imagine what it would taste like. Like, say I know, okay, I know what chicken tastes like. I know what garlic tastes like. Let me use, instead of garlic salt, let me use garlic powder. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, or something like that. Like, I like steak, right? And I do season the steak with like garlic. I'll season it with like garlic salt, but I moved to garlic powder. It's good, but then I also buy garlic and and peel it and crack it, crack it a little bit. So then when I fry the steak, I'm frying it with olive oil, and I use butter too. You know what I'm saying? So I put the olive oil in I make sure the pan's hot first. I put olive oil in the pan. Then I put the garlic in there. I put the steak in there, and I fry the garlic with the steak. So the garlic's in there as long as the steak is. You know what I'm saying? So then when I flip it over, I flip it over and let it sear a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For like 5-10 seconds. Then I put the butter in. But then I also put in rosemary and I put thyme in it. Rosemary and thyme. And that rosemary and thyme, that flavor, it just gives it that extra thing that it needs. Like JC was saying about the herbals and stuff like that. I start cooking with herbs, like even with my chicken. He told me about thyme because you heard me coughing and carrying on. I was going, I was clearing my throat a lot. He said, listen, man, go to the store and get some thyme. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, go to the store and get you some thyme. So about 2 weeks, I just kind of put it off, right? Finally, he finally got at me. He said, take your ass into the store, man, and get you that stuff I told you to get. I said, okay, cool. So I actually went to the store, bought some, and then I said, okay, I cooked with it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, what else can I cook with this? So I started trying it with chicken. I tried it with fish. Rosemary and thyme go really good with fish. It really does. Yeah, and chicken too.
And chicken too, because one of the things with spices and learning how to get the texture. Let me just tell y'all about the meat that y'all eat. Y'all will wonder why when you go to like Chick-fil-A, if you ever ate a Chick-fil-A and you bite down in the chicken, it's not stringy. It's more of a munchy kind of chicken. It's kind of like a soft, spongy chicken. Well, it's the same chicken you all have, but the only reason that their chicken texture is different, they soak their chicken in sugar overnight. Just a little sugar. You could do it with salt. You could do it with vinegar. What it does is break down the enzymes in that meat and make it more spongy versus stringy. You ever had some chicken that was just, when you pull it off, it's just stringy like hay?
Yeah.
Because number one, you cooked it too fast, and it can't do nothing but be what it just comes like roast beef. So if you learn how to marinate, even when you buy your chicken and stuff, just take and put it in a freezer bag, put a little water in it, put a little brown sugar in it or something like that, or vinegar or lemon, anything acidic will change the structure of the texture. And put it in the freezer till you get ready to cook it. You go do it anyway. I don't like to leave my meats or stuff like that in packages when I get it and just put it in the freezer. I like to take it apart and separate it. And as I'm separating from different recipes that I'm doing. So I'll do different things that have the best marinating is in the freezer anyway. When you put your spices and stuff and marinate, it releases all the purities in that herbal that you use. Like that's how I preserve my herbal stuff. I put it in the freezer. So when I used to have to use it or whatever, it's fresh. It locks it in. So learn how to marinate your food get the best flavors you can get from, and I'm telling you, if you never did this before, try it. Take any green that you want, take it, and overnight put it in warm water and put like 3 tablespoons of vinegar in it. The next morning when you pull it out, you don't even have to cook it. It's ready to go. You can heat it up if you steam it if you want to. You want your vegetable chewable. You don't want that soggy stuff. You know that soggy stuff that they do on Thanksgiving. They cook it for 4 and 5 hours, and it's almost like eating baby food. You know what I mean? They do that because they're trying to get a certain taste out of it. And I'm saying you can get taste into your food, integrated in your food from using liquid smoke. You don't have to use no meats or anything. You can marinate your meats like that. You can do your greens like that. You can do your string beans taste so good if you added just a little potato to it and just a little smoke, hickory smoke liquid, and cook it that way. I'm telling you, it makes it seem like it's been cooked all day long. So that's what they're trying to do, is embark all them flavors. But you can learn how to do these things, and they do it in restaurants every day. When you go in and get something in a restaurant, they ain't prepared it over. They're actually doing it right there at the same time. When you go to a good 5-star restaurant, if you can find one in America, most of the restaurants in America are 4-star. So, but when you do find these chefs is in there doing their job, they're making all these flavors burst right there in 20 minutes of them preparing your food.
Nice. Shout out to Before the Billions coming in. And also let's welcome to the panel, E the Man Williams. E-Man. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I seen y'all guys was live over here. Just left the gym, so I said, let me come see what the old man and the military man was talking about over here. So
Gotcha.
Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Look like you're losing a little weight.
A little bit.
You look like you're on the slim Jim side now.
It's the hair, J Speed. He got a fresh
That's
shave.
what it is. Oh, you just ain't gonna give him no grace, huh?
I thought he had hair last I checked.
Yeah.
Nah,
He's starting to look like Charles Barkley, a good-looking Charles Barkley.
definitely Charles Barkley, Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was thought he was Kev on stage, bro. It's like Kev on stage out here.
I've been taking care of myself, doing some new things, so definitely been doing that. So
yeah,
definitely been fun.
What your diet is like, man? What is consistent throughout the day?
You want to know the last 90 days or before 90 days?
Just now, where we at now? We gonna take it.
Oh, where we at now?
Yes, sir.
Fully vegan diet. So I can tell you what I ate today. So I woke up this morning, a vegan protein shake and greens mix. And I went in about an hour to banana. And I ate a full apple. Then I just ate some raisins and grapes. I'm pretty sure maybe in 2 hours I will go and eat some types of nuts, so like some kind of nuts. And then tonight, I'm pretty sure I eat maybe a fully big salad.
Okay, that sounds good. It sounds really good. Ain't no complaint with that one.
Yeah, seriously. Like I told him, I tried vegan. I lasted 2 days, man. I was like, yeah, listen, this ain't for me. I even forgot what I ate too. I forgot what it was, some vegan dish. I forgot what it was now. I was like,
see, this is what makes it funny is with a vegan dish, you have maybe 2,000 dishes that you can make. With an animal dish, you only have, 13, 14? Learning how to do the 2 things I say most important, taste and texture. Let me prove something to you. I take potatoes, cut them up, and I cut them up almost in cubes. I put them in water and put them in the refrigerator with a little bit of salt and pepper and a little brown sugar and a little soy sauce. And I let it set it overnight. The next morning, I don't care if I use coconut oil, butter, or whatever, them potatoes gonna taste like bacon. Now I'll take that and wrap it up with some vegetables like cabbage. Not see most of the time people cook cabbage, they cook them too long. You stir fry cabbage about 2 minutes and that's all it needs. I'll take that and put all types of vegetables in a burrito. I'll roll that thing up. You wouldn't even miss the meat. Because the texture of the potatoes is going to give you that sponge back that foods the brain that you're eating meat. And the taste of it is going to make you think you eating meat. And this is why I say learning secrets of how to get flavors into your food and texture. It's what you are doing. What you're doing is psychologically fooling the brain with your texture and your taste. And I would love, that's one of the things I'm going to do in the next month is start cooking and showing brothers and sisters how to cook vegan food and prepare it where you're not even fooling yourself. You just don't miss the meat. Now, I'm not saying you're not now go back and have meat at least once or twice a week or whatever, because I told you I'm not one of them meat thumper type of person. But what I'm trying to show you, there's so many different avenues that you can get what you want and the taste that you want out of your food without food. If I had to eat salad every night, I would never be a damn vegetarian. And that's what most people try to eat is salad all the time. There's so many things. I mean, you can take brown rice. You can take almond nuts, mix with your brown rice. Take a bay leaf, put it in there, cook it, take it out. Don't cook it where it just gets soggy. Cook it with texture. Man, you could put you some kidney beans on top of there and put it on a plate and have your nice toast piece of bread on the side, wheat bread, 14. And I'm telling you, and put a little chili pepper on top of it, you would really dog down in that meal and you won't miss it. But some of us are a little lazy.
Well, no, so what people understand how the brain works, right? So the brain work when a person says that, they have to have meat, their mind is going through withdrawals. That's what it is. It's a withdrawal. It's like, so in December, when I decided that I was giving up coffee and I decided I was giving up sugar, my body, the headaches, everything came because my body was so used to being able to have it. Now I believe I can go weeks without eating meat just because it's not a part of my diet anymore. My body, see, people don't understand, your body conforms to whatever's stronger. If your mind is stronger than your body, it's going to conform to what your mind is doing. So I'm not saying that you should be all that. I just knew where I was at and I wanted to lose weight drastically. So I'm down about 40 pounds. That was my goal. So I had to be extreme. A lot of people say, hey, I got time. I ain't have time. My goal real simple was to be extreme and to be able to kind of put myself in a place where my mind was a lot stronger than my actual body.
Yeah, and I think I agree with E, man. It is if I had to go without meat, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? It was just the vegan. It's just the vegan dishes that I was eating. I'll say that. It was just the vegan dishes I was eating. I was like, no, this ain't for me. I can't do it. But E-Man is correct. I think you do go through withdrawals when you don't eat meat because I've experienced that. I've gone a period of time without eating meat, you know what I'm saying? Just see if I could, and just like, yeah, I want chicken. I want beef, lamb chops. You know what I'm saying? He's right. There's a withdrawal.
Mandrell. Let's be honest now. We know that it's much easier to stay away from meat when you got a girlfriend. All right?
Is it?
I mean, yeah, it's because you kissing up on her. I mean, you ain't digesting it, but you kissing up on her, so it's much easier when you got a girlfriend to stay away from meat versus.
So what happens if you get married, JSP?
Well, when you get married, you got an overdose of meat, so you really don't need it on your plate. So.
Okay.
So for you guys who are single, if you ever wanted to get to a true vegetarian, it might help you out a little bit to have a girlfriend or a wife. I know.
What you got for us, Thomas?
I was gonna say, well, congrats to you, E-Man. That's dope. But
for real.
No, I think he's right though with that with the being extreme. I find that tends to work the best. because if you half-ass it, more than likely you're just gonna go back into your routine anyway. And that's why I kind of said the thing about the cheat days. Most people that I hear cheat days, first thing I hear is, "Oh, okay, well you about to just fall off," because you're looking for a reason to get off of your routine. That's why I said with mine is just if it happens, and I go right back to my routine. Um, but I was gonna say another thing that one of the biggest things that sold me with the intermittent fasting was. Um, Sitting back and looking at the eating cycle that we go through in a day. Whereas you eat breakfast, then you snack, then lunch, then you probably snack, and then dinner. And then, like for me, like I said, I do the OMAD, so 1 meal a day. The way it was explained to me is your digestive system never gets time to just relax and process that food because of you're constantly it's constantly being used. Whereas when you do OMAD, you literally giving your digestive system 24 hours to process that food. And I think that's why the results are what they are, because I'm giving my digestive system 24 hours to digest 1 meal versus somebody else in 24 hours that they haven't even finished, probably lunch, because they had to do lunch, then the snack, then breakfast, then the lunch, breakfast, then the snack, then the lunch, then the snack, then the dinner. It's so much to process that even if a lot of times, even if you're working out, you would have to work out extreme, kind of like Chad Johnson does. Everybody know he's a McDonald's guy, but he works out extreme, more than most people can that got a regular job. So unless you do something like that, you have to do something like E-Man said, extreme, to kind of go against. Because I think what most people understand is, in America, our eating habits is extreme. We don't look at it that way because it's normal, but our eating habits is extreme. So like I tell a lot of people, you don't get big overnight, so you ain't gonna get small overnight. And that's the problem with most people is, like I said, they don't think it happened. They think it happened overnight. That's why I step on the scale every single day. I want to see that number every single day, and then I can mentally know when I'm okay. You getting out of control. It's time to reel it in. Because I'm a truck driver, dog. I see some bad bodies out here. Some terrible bodies. So.
Well, it's interesting you said about the digestive system. So I've been studying literally the digestive system over the last 90 days, right? The biggest thing that people do that I believe is incorrect, I'm not a doctor, is that they take liquids while they eat, right? And they water down the stomach acid, and it actually takes them longer to digest the actual food because they're watering down the acid in their stomachs. So when I went to a nutrition, they said when I eat, they said when I'm eating, 30 minutes before I eat, I should be drinking water. But once I'm actually eating the meal, I should not be drinking a whole bunch of liquids. I actually should only supposed to be actually putting the food. I should wait a whole hour before I start drinking liquids again. And it actually doesn't water down your stomach acids, right? I don't know if it's true, but I know in 90 days, I got a lot of results based off me just changing. Because I drank a whole 2 liter back in the day, a 2 liter with my food, and I learned that it definitely changed my bowels and different things like that when I just actually takes it and my food digests a lot faster.
Let's unpack what Tommy said. Let's unpack what Tommy said, and let's unpack what you just said. It said two very significant things. Well, number one is the first meal you eat today is breaking your fast. That's why they call it breakfast. But what we made it at a morning food versus breaking your fast. That's what breakfast stands for. So I don't eat anything before after 12. That's just the way I do it, because I'm giving my body time exactly what Tommy said. And the problem go along with that is, think about this. We apply that to everything else in life. If you take a person who has a passenger on the side while he's driving, and that's his wife, who's always in his car, you look at that passenger seat, it's just as worse as the driver's seat as far as condition. But if he didn't have somebody sitting in that seat would look brand new. We apply this to everything in life. Something we use every day versus somebody use it once a day versus somebody who uses it 20 times a day. It's going to have that wear and tear on it. And that's what we're doing for the inside of our body, dealing with timing. Going to E-Man, Um, the importance of this, what you did learn is your body is 97 as far as degrees, anywhere between 97 to 98, depends how hot nature you are. What you have been doing, E-Man, is eating warm food and then cooling it down with a soda or whatever you're drinking cold. And this is what we do at restaurants, and this is what we do at home. So now that food has to heat back up again to your body temperature so your acid could work. This is the difference between Asian people and the rest of society. If you watch them, they drink warm teas with their meal. They don't drink cold drinks with their meal. So I'm not saying the liquid itself is what you're getting the problem from. It's the temperature. The temperature of cooling your body down. Now that food has to stay in your body another 3 or 4 hours to warm up and then digest. That's why a lot of your food rottens in your stomach. It's because it's holding it in there too long to go through the whole process. The small intestine, the large intestine. It's holding up the process because it can't digest at a certain temperature. That's why you get bloated, you get gas, you get stomach ache, you get not diarrhea, but you get constipation. It's because you're lumping all this stuff in together. And I'll tell you something else as a secret, E-Man, if you didn't read this in your report of Understanding Nutrition. Mingling a lot of food together as groups is a no-no. If you go eat starch, and then give yourself a break, and then you can come back within the next 20 or 30 minutes and eat something else. Because when you put all this stuff together, protein, starch, vegetables, your body has more than one type of acid to release to digest your food. Now you're confusing the body. It don't know what to do. Now you're gonna feel like you got acid reflux because you got so many different acids in your stomach that you go get belt, you go get the burning and all that because they don't know what to do. You're putting too many different foods in your body at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so let's talk about starches because you mentioned starches, right? What most people don't understand is starches for the body to break down starches is one of the hardest things for the body to do. The problem that we have in America, we don't chew our food long enough, right? So these supposed to be breaking down the starches. So we supposed to almost keep food into our mouth until it's almost like a baby food substance. We do not supposed to be, how like Mandela talking about he like a steak. He shouldn't be swallowing 8-ounce steaks. I know he likes swallowing, but he shouldn't be swallowing the 8-ounce steak whole, if that makes sense. What he needs to be doing is you're supposed to be chewing those things up. So that was another thing is I was swallowing food whole too. So then they said, and one thing that I noticed, if you chew long enough, you typically is less hungry too, because now your jaws are working, different things like that. So it's just that we're uneducated. What it really comes down to, we're just uneducated and we don't understand it. I do want to address Preezy's question. Just me being on fruits and vegetables, they go through your system a lot quicker. Like say, for example, when I was eating meat, it took forever for the meat to process. I don't know the exact day, but typically people who only eat fruits and vegetables have a normal bowel movement and they might be going multiple times a day. So I think that's the difference when it's fruits and vegetables.
And think about this.
Go
ahead.
I was going to say the one thing when it came to, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum for vegetables and for meat. The one thing I actually understood about going on the meat diet was that the reason why it's actually taking longer to digest, you should say, is my body's actually absorbing all of that there is. I'm not even going to the bathroom as much, and I'm not constipated because they can go to the doctors and look at X-ray and look, oh, you're not constipated. So what's happening? My body's actually absorbing the food. The thing is, what my body does not take in becomes waste. So if I'm pooping a lot, it's because I'm not absorbing a lot of what I'm taking in. It's a lot of waste my body's getting rid of. But if I'm actually eating something and I'm not extracting it as often, it's because my body's actually absorbing it. That's how I look at it.
Well, don't be tricked. Don't be tricked with that. All right, because that's a double-edged sword. Think about this. You got a glass full of water. right? How do you put more water in that glass?
You have to go pee first. You gotta let it out first. Oh, get it out. You gotta hold the bottom. You gotta let some of it out.
If you check people who's drinking beer, they get just as high, but they still absorbing it. But as they're drinking that beer, they're going straight and back and forth to their bathroom, right?
Mhm.
Okay, food is the same way. There's been people who have had steak stuck in their body for 3 and 4 years, clinging to the walls of their and digestive system. So number one is to break down, anybody know to break down vegetables or fruits or whatever. Think about a baby. Most of the baby gerber baby food was never meat. It was always vegetables and fruit, right?
Yes.
And just from that, they got a turd out of it, right? Even when they was drinking their mother's milk, they got a turd out of it, right? So the body knows how to process things, and Ime makes a good point. Chewing your food is supposed to be least, if you look at any video, it should be 27 chews per bite full. Now that seems to be extreme, but think about what happens when you do it that way. It makes it much easier on your digestive system because it's less harder to break down the food. You have already did that with your teeth. Number two, you're using muscles to chew it, your jawbone muscles, some of the strongest muscles you have on your body. So you are getting some type of exercise. And number three, you go get tired when you chew your food like that. So you're not looking at 3 pots of food in front of you. You go eat it that way because you just go get tired from chewing. So he makes a great point. This diet that we have in America is what's keeping 65% of the people in America obese. And we're not even talking about the overweight yet. We're just talking about obese. You know, me was at 21 pounds just 2.5 weeks ago. I lost 27 pounds in 1 week. And I came on the camera and showed Mandrell them how skinny I was. Let me climb the pole and answer this phone. I ain't gonna be able to. And so I came on and showed them this is what happened. All right, let me get this. Okay, I climbed the pole and I got yeah. So what I'm saying is, we have to rethink this thing. The food group in 1970s and 1960s is not the same food group you even see from the FDA. You understand? So they are changing the way they look at things. And one of the things to keep more mucus in our body, more than anything, is when you use dairy products. Think about this. Anybody ever seen a cow? His nose is snotty from the time he's born till he dies. He is a mucus animal. And so when you understand that's his makeup, and when you eat it, you're really eating, when you're drinking milk, regardless if it's pasteurized or not, it's nothing but pus. And the reason why it's pus is no cow or calf supposed to have milk pumped out of their breast from the time they come to age until they die. That means that there's raw in the inside. If you ever been on a farm that produces cow milk, you can see the spots on around the I don't know what they call them, titties or breasts or whatever.
Butters.
Okay, so when you constantly pumping milk out of that every day, that's unnatural for that animal to have to be in that position from his total life. So in the inside of that is rawness, pus, and everything else. And so this is where a lot of our mucus come from, because we consume so much cow product, cheese, milk, the meat, everything. We eating liquid meat, we eating solid meat, and they're all coming from one animal that is built up on mucus. And people say, well, how we gonna get our protein? I tell them, look across the field and see what the goddamn cows eat.
But
what is
you
eating?
can't compare that. That's not fair
No.
comparison.
I'm telling you why it is good. I heard that argument, and I kicked it all around the room and throwed a hanging on it.
Go on and speak it.
Let's have a conversation. I'm curious.
Let's have the conversation.
Let's
Then
have a
Go ahead and have the
conversation.
argument. I like to hear the opposing. If you already know what
I
the argument
understand.
is, then tell me. If you know the
I
So
argument,
hold on.
understand.
don't waste your time with that. Then tell me what
So
is
hold
your
on.
statement on why we compare cows to
Let-
humans.
Hold
I
on.
understand.
Let's get a baseline, right? We do know that we can get all the protein we need outside of eating meat. Do you agree with that statement, or you disagree with it?
You can get supplementations.
No.
No,
I mean,
no. I'm being serious. You can't get supplementation. You're saying protein. Protein does come in supplementations. You can get protein-based supplementations for appropriate protein that you need for your body. Yes, you can. I don't disagree with that.
so what I'm saying is, why do you think that we need to eat meat? Maybe let me get a
Well,
better
I'll tell
understanding.
you. I'll tell you why. It's simple as this. It's not that hard. You heard the expression, you are what you eat, right? I am made out of bone and flesh, okay? I'm not made from plant material. That's for one. Two, my mama, everyone's mama, if they had breast milk, the main sources of energy comes from her titties. Her titties have protein and fat. That is the source of energy from which you were developed with in general. All right. So that is the baseline of what you need. Okay. Because naturally, that's all you're getting from your mama's titty. All right. When you go on to take on micronutrients, which I'm not banning or saying that you shouldn't have these, I think they're essential, especially when it comes to recovery, deficiencies that you may have from other sources, whether it's sickness and health. I think plants and vegetables are the best thing to take, period. That's why in herbal medicine, that's what they're used for. Plants are used for herbal purposes to help you supplement whatever micronutrients you're missing on. But come the baseline, what is that you actually need, what your body can produce on its own, there's certain things you just don't need. And we supplement it. But then how does that look in long term when your body starts to rely on these supplements and then you start to have certain side effects? You know what I'm saying? And then you start to say, oh, I can't have this no more. I have to change my diet up because I'm deficient in this. And I got supplementations relying on plants now and herbals to help you. But say what caused that in the first place? Now the thing is, I can't really get into a full discussion because when it comes to this topic, no human has been studied in a closed environment to say this is good for you, this is bad for you, or like that. Everyone's on anecdotal when it comes to what the nutrition is. This is why I said before, I will never go no far as in saying I'll never go extreme and say you should only eat this or this is what's best for you or anything. Jay Speed, you said it best. Pay attention to your body, smells, inflammation, bloating, all these things, your nails, hair, wrinkles. Your body will tell you because your body's going to break down chemically what is coming in. You can see for yourself what's happening with your body based upon what you are eating. You know what I'm saying? So I would never go on the record and say, don't eat this, don't eat that. But I do know for the most part, let's say I'm going off a basis. The basis is protein and fat. That's what your mama gave you. That's the basis. Everything else, there you go.
So it's a couple of things I got questions, right? So first of all, it's a reason that kids drink milk at a certain age and then we take them off of that because they need more to be able to produce. If we was to leave a child on mother's milk, say today was 17 years old, they would be deficient. They would not have everything that they need to be a well-grown adult. Do you agree with that? Or you disagree with that statement?
City milk has more than just that too, but all the basic essentials that you need, including the micronutrients as well. So I eat that because of digestive purposes, because you're saying like your body does develop and it has stronger things that you can now develop, like teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like you have teeth now, you can take on solid foods. Your body matures in a way where you don't have to just drink a liquid form to get. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never.
No, I get what you said. I'm just telling you, if you was to take a man and you only gave them breast milk to 17, that person would be deficient. They would be, their body would be deficient. They need more.
You have to prove that. Again, there's no one who's done. No one's done this. I don't want to get this conflict because the thing is, we're talking about extremes here, and no one's ever tested about any of these things we're talking about. When it comes to diet, there's no deficient proof about how one way goes this way.
It is some proof. Hold on, and I'm gonna let OG get in there. Hold on. Let me. I get what you said, but let me tell you, everything that you said when you said bloating, when you said all of these things, typically people on a plant-based diet don't have swelling, they don't have bloating, they don't have all of the
Who
things.
doesn't? I had it. What you talking about? I was on a plant diet for 6 months.
You was on a plant diet and you said that you was bloated, you was swollen,
Yes.
what was you eating? I'm curious because I want to get OG in there.
I'll tell you what I was eating. For the most part, I did have eggplant. Had eggplant lasagna. That's one of my favorite dishes I made because it was like it gave me the texture of meat, but it wasn't meat. It was just eggplant, and it was covered in some type of breading for the most part. And it gave you that texture like it was meat, but it's not really meat. That's one of the things I had learned. You know what I'm saying? I was being vegetarian. I had nothing but plant food for the most part. Beans will definitely bloat you. That's a given. But besides that, because the release of the gases that come from that's gonna automatically make you bloat. Excuse me. What else was it? Some oils will make you bloat.
So
Inflammation.
what give you swelling? Because you also said swelling. So what you was eating from a plant based that made you retain water?
Made me retain water.
Because you said
Like I
swelling.
mentioned before, if I had lasagna, that was also the carbs, which is technically still plant based. But yes, eating pasta, that would definitely cause that.
Interesting.
Okay. So let's make my best case forward then. What is the closest mammal to human beings?
Monkey.
Gorilla, would you say?
I thought you said chimpanzee was the closest one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay.
Primates, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what do the gorilla eat?
Gorilla or chimpanzee?
They eat plants.
A gorilla.
Mostly, they mostly eat plants, but they do eat meat from time to time.
Definitely the ones who, been
They die quick.
colonized.
They die quick.
But you also understand
They do eat meat from time to time, man. It's savage to watch what they do.
What I'm trying to say is, again, I'm not one of these people who pops against meat eaters, but let's just unpack what you said, my brother.
Okay.
If you are sick or whatever, that you want to go to more of a plant-based diet to oversee, then that'll be like, well, I can afford premium gas in my car, but when I don't have money, I'm gonna put regular gas in my car. You really made the point that the best thing you can eat would be one versus the other. It's not saying you can't eat the other. What I'm saying is, when we understand that, there's really no argument between me and you. It's all about choices in your life. It's all about how it makes you feel, because there's a mental components with this too.
Yes.
With what you believe is what becomes for you. And so that's the mental component of this. And so I could be the best doctor in the world, and you don't believe in me, you pretty much ain't gonna get healthy. And that's been proven. You know what I mean? Doctors who have used placebos, who use sugar pills and give them the information, this is going to be the greatest thing since Jesus Christ, and the person started to get well. So there's a mental components even with diet too. So I agree along with, we really don't have no argument. But there's protein is not supplement by vegetables. Protein is mostly supplemented by meat than it is vegetable, because everything that meat becomes ate some type of vegetable to get it. And so so when you understand that, it's the chicken, does the chicken come before the egg or the egg become before the chicken, you start to have to think about what you're saying, that vegetation is not a supplement. It is the source. It is the source.
Okay. I won't argue with that, because I'm able to add up and see what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
But you also, like, the one thing I do take because it's kind of, it's not what you say, because I don't get lost in this. For the most part, right? It's still chemical breakdown. At the end of the day, it is all about chemical breakdown. And only thing I was saying was, you were hitting it right on, and it is a balance. And this is why I want to go back to your very first saying: keep track of your body. You should know your body and how it's going to react to whatever it is you're taking in, because it's all chemistry at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You can get it in different forms, different ways, but you have to, because like I said, I told him earlier, I was okay drinking milk in the States.
And for some reason, I went over to the Middle East and drank their milk. It was different, but I messed. It was real good. I gone back to the States. I can't mess with milk no more.
Right.
Done. It's over. I went through a
It-
chemical change in here with enzymes, and it effed me up for life. That's it.
It's
So
a
like I said,
Yeah,
mathematical formula.
You went you
Yeah.
it, the way we pasteurize. It's the way we pasteurize the dairy here, but over there they have a different filtration process. You know what I'm saying? They filter differently. Here, it's the easiest, quickest, cheapest way possible. That's the way we do things. You know what I mean? And that's where we mess up a lot of times. And but that's why you went over there. You had real milk for a change. You know, so you had actual milk for a change. You know what I mean? Pasteurized the way it's supposed to be, filtered the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Then you came back over here. You get the crazy stuff that we make, and now it's like you're something like, wait, what? Not this again.
So, but I have a question. Do you guys believe that a person can live without eating vegetables?
Well,
alone,
no, well, it depends.
right?
It depends, E-man, because it's like this. I said personally, again, there's a balance. Everything shouldn't be so extreme. I would say, like, for the most part, if you get sick, right, you need herbal supplementation for the micronutrients. Because that's
But
why you got sick in the first place. You had a deficiency somewhere that you were lacking, and you need to supplement yourself with the herb.
I
I'll
get
say
what
that-
you
that-
said, but
I'll-
Marvin, you finna
let
back
me-
yourself up in the corner because
Right,
I know
I'll
he
think-
finna
yeah.
slide it. He gonna
'Cause I
slide in
wanna-
that caveman.
Right, 'cause
He
Right.
gonna
I
say
wanna-
to
That's
live
why-
25
that's
years
why I
old.
agree with
He
you.
lived
I
for
agree with you.
22 years old.
Yeah,
He was
I
a
want-
full grown man. He ate nothing but meat. Don't back yourself up in that corner
No,
now.
Yeah, I want-
I said don't do that. I said personally, you should not do that. But you're saying like, can you go your whole life? No, you. Again, that's so extreme.
It'd be a very
I said,
short
don't
life.
be extreme.
Yeah, because you're not eating fiber. You're not
Well-
getting the fiber that you need. So
Hold
you
on.
get-
It'll be a
Yeah.
very short life.
yeah.
I get that. Okay, so no one I can't live the rest of my life without. That's vegetables. Now on the flip end of this, could I live a long life if I just ate the fruits and vegetables?
I've seen. Well, it depends on who you are, because I've seen people who have gone vegetarian and they were actually getting worse over time. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm serious. It depends on who you are. Okay, every person. This ain't no secret. Okay, first off, when it comes to different bodies, different anatomies, different ethnicities, okay, you are what you eat. You know, you look at this. In India, for instance, those people are the skinniest fat people on the planet. Do you know why? Because of their diet and because of the fact that they didn't have much food and crops around. So they were honestly starved. So the body goes into what basically hibernation. They store fat easily so they can survive and live the next day. So their whole body composition, what they're eating, the enzymes, their makeup, that takes a role. Same thing with the Samoans. Reason why they're big as hell, same as the Vikings. So these people were actually going across seas, but storing food so they can make the journey to go cross seas. You know what I'm saying? These people are big for a purpose, big for a reason. Us today, the modern man, we taking on, we're adapting to the bullshit that we're creating right now. All these stuff that we're putting on foods, how we make the food, how it's produced. Like I told you earlier, I said, how can y'all measure calories with apples, for instance, when the energy, because that's what calories are supposed to measure, the energy, is not translated properly. Meaning like one apple, size and everything, dimensions exactly the same as another apple. The only difference between the apples is the time it took to make those apples. One apple took a week, the other one took a month. But yet you told me the energy is exactly the same. How?
I get that. Hold on. I get what you're saying. So what I'm trying to understand is if I was to go to a vegan diet versus a meat diet, which one do you think that I would? And I know this is not for every person, but I'm saying
Yes.
we just took a group of, let's say, a sample of 1,000. Which one do you believe will live longer?
And
I can't
healthier.
even assume that though, because
And
there's so many variables with that. Because everyone has different bio gut. If you had a twin, right? If you guys were doing the exact same things, eat the same foods, y'all had the same results, cause and effect. But if you guys were the same twins, DNA wise, but y'all grew up on different diets from day one, you had different results. And then to try to help you guys to switch diets, it would probably F you up so bad because it's not even, it wouldn't be fair.
No, I get what you're saying, but the problem that I'm having is I have seen people, and this could be anecdotal. Let me say that first. I have seen people who had high blood pressure. They done had diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And when they removed meat from their diet, all of that went away. And I done seen people that do the opposite, that continue eating certain meat. They typically don't have that same result. And I know you touched to that the fruits and vegetable heals
No, it
us.
wasn't fruits and vegetables. I said for me it was carbs. Sugar is what causes you guys to get diabetes in the first place. I never said meat or vegetables. For me, I said earlier when I was here, I said I came to Japan, I got rice and noodles. That was the biggest thing, especially rice. Every meal damn near has rice in it. And when I got here after 3 months, they told me you have good high cholesterol, but you have a slight bit of hypertension. I said, what the hell? Because I never had hypertension in my life. So I said, I have increased my intake of rice. There's sugar in that, how it breaks down. I'm gonna slow down the rice a little bit. And that's what I did. I even lost weight. Because again, it's just excess energy that my body was not, even though I work out, I had I'm not lying, I said every meal comes with rice and noodles. My God, bro. And it's a pain in the butt because I get tired of having to have carbs in my diet. That's why I went to keto. I'm keto. I eat my fruits, I eat my vegetables, I eat my meat. I prefer meat more because I work out, I need to recover, X, Y, and Z. And there's more protein that my body absorbs than plant. That's just a fact for me. Again, I know how
Yeah,
my body
so
reacts to it.
I'm not big on carbs. I'm not really doing carbs. I kind of get what you're saying. But what I was talking about is really kind of the fruits and vegetables. If a person really had fruits and vegetables versus having a meat diet, typically the person on that fruits and vegetable diet will live maybe 3 times as long. And you can say that I'm pulling the numbers out of nowhere than that person, and they'll be more healthier.
I would say other factors that come into play, you have to take an E-man. You can, all right? On the extreme end, you can, depending on your lifestyle and your environment.
So, but
I'm just
what
gonna
do I
say,
need from meats? We already got a
I just
basis.
told you what meat was.
No, what do I
It's
need from it?
protein and fat. That's what you need. Legitimately, your body needs protein. Your body needs fat. I don't get how y'all not catching that.
But so I can get protein. Let's first start with, can I get protein from vegetables?
Yes, you probably have to get 2 to 3 times a serving as a beef steak, for instance. But yes, you can get it.
Cool. So that means that if I ate the right vegetables, I can get the proteins that I need from that. All right.
You
Let's
have to, yes. You can
I,
get
let's
it's not impossible, but there are different types of proteins out
Yeah,
there.
bro. The thing is, you're gonna have to eat so much. You got to eat so much, man, that it's the
I'm,
juice ain't worth the
I'm,
squeeze on that one.
I'm
But
gonna give
here's the
y'all.
thing: if you're looking for protein and you're trying to get it just from vegetables, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. You got to eat way too much.
I'm gonna give y'all a chart, an up-to-date chart, to show you that all that is a myth, and it's always been a myth. They fooled y'all on that one.
Okay,
And
show us the receipt.
I'm gonna put. Well, you know me, man, Darrell. I'll wake you up 3 o'clock in the morning and give it to you. So pause, because that ain't got nothing to do with nothing like that.
Boy, this show is a
But
pause fest.
okay, so let's look at this, Marvin. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna give you a statement, and you go answer your own question.
Easy day.
And I'm glad you brought up Japan. How many times have you seen senior sailors and sumo wrestlers?
Not too many of them, but there's a couple.
They
on
usually
there.
die real fast. That's why they get the
Yes,
pretty
sir.
young lady, because they die at a very young age. Because they are more on that caveman died, and that's what we're saying.
But wait,
That
JC, wait. There's a caveat.
I
Because you're
got you.
taking out no. Remember, sumo is an extreme person in general. Okay, that is extreme. They overeat intentionally to become bigger and for
There
the
you
training
go.
purpose. Again, it's the purpose of what they're doing. And that's why I say, even with E-Man's statement about being fruits and vegetables, I say yes, depending on your environment and what it is you're actually doing for your lifestyle, that may be good enough for you.
Right. And what I'm saying to that is, if you take that same sumo wrestler that you say is extreme, you think you
Yeah.
could get the same outcome from vegetables?
You mean like being extreme with the
If I took
vegetables?
all his meat away from him, could he become that sumo wrestler with vegetables?
I don't know.
It's im-
I personally don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just I have never heard of anyone
it's
getting
probably it's
extremely because if it was a thing, I would. I mean, I'm sure if it was a thing, sumo wrestlers would have adopted it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't know at that point.
right.
It's
And
a
so
hypothesis.
this,
It's a good hypothesis.
I got
It's a
you.
good
I got
theory.
you. See, this is why I think things too, because I'm old, and I have to take things too, because y'all kick my ass all around the room if I don't, because you expect me to make mistakes. So, but these these are why I ask these mind provoke thought, because I look at things like a puzzle in life, and I look at where you're trying to go to and how you're trying to get there. And one of the things I find out is when I go back and look at Elijah Wan career, and you go back into when he was doing Ramadan versus when he was just eating 3 meals a day, you will see a vast improvement of what he was doing in his whole career. And that's been a point of view that I have used when people start to talk about certain things that happen when you eat one time a meal, or when you're not eating when you're eating meat, when you're not eating meat. Look at a person who has extend a lot of energy in a basketball game and get improvement when he's only eating 1 meal a day, and quantifying it to nighttime. So think about it. He can only eat when the sun go down. So a lot of the games he wasn't even eating that day he was playing, and everything increased. His shooting percentage, everything increased. So it shows us, we can say that different humans have different metabolism and all that, but it comes down to a basic body is been designed the same way. You understand? And so when we understand that a heroin person who's hooked on heroin has to go through this deprogramming of the whole body. And that's why I say it's a mental approach to this too. It's a physical, spiritual, and a mental. So if you got a person who's been doing heroin and he's been a functional person, and then all of a sudden he wants to come off of it, his body's going to reject it. Every cell in his body is going to reject it because it becomes an addiction on every cell. And so for him to go through a process to relieve himself of that addiction, he's going to have to go through a withdrawal process. The problem with human beings is when we're going through that process, just before we got to get over it, we don't walk through the door. Something stops us. It's like running, then your side start hurting. When you first start working out, that side start hurting. You're like, I can't go that extra 50 yards. I just can't. But if you did do it, that side would not hurt the next time you run that distance. But see, we always fall short of delivering what we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to have, is because we can't go through that process of healing. And the process of healing is not a nice thing.
Yes.
It's really not.
And I'm not against, I just want to say, Emma, I'm not against people eating meat. I just don't think you should eat it every day. I think it really is supposed to be like a once, maybe twice a week type thing. Like if you're going to eat it, right? And the second thing I want to say is the most important thing for our body to get is oxygen. And where do you think that this oxygen come from? These fruits and vegetables. Like I know a lot of people think the only oxygen that we actually digest is the ones that we breathe in, but it is proven that it's oxygen in the food that we're actually eating too when it comes down to the fruits and vegetables.
I was going to say it comes down to water as well too. Water is H2O, obviously, but yes, I agree.
The most important.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, the most important. You can go. I mean, there's been people recorded who have went almost 3 months without having food.
I know about those people.
And so
I've heard about those.
With food, 7 or 8 days, you looking for Dr. Sabi, or you looking for Dr. Kavoki to go ahead and give you a mercy killing, because you ain't just not gonna make it.
You can make it here's the thing. You can make it a lot longer
than
on water That food, like you can go
Hell,
like that, and bro, there's recordings of people are going 2.5 months without eating anything. They just
I,
had
I,
water.
I believe you're right. Let me say, y'all guys are right first, but you don't need water like we think we do. Like I was watching this study, and the guy, what he was doing is he got all of his water from fruits, right? Now I know people are gonna argue and say, if you eat watermelon, the reason they put water in the name is because it got water in it. But he didn't drink any bottled water in its natural form. He actually hydrated his body through fruits. And when we saw him do that, you don't have to drink H2O. I just want to put it out there.
Here's the thing. Number one, he's if he's getting the fruit from fruit, he's getting H2O regardless. He's just not drinking it out of a glass. Two, you have to look at his activity level, like how active is he? How much energy is he spending? So you have to take things like that into consideration too. Because if you're an active person, you're constantly on the go. That ain't gonna work for you.
Yeah,
Well,
you have to be
email.
You have to be very careful with that. You have to be very careful with that because 98% of the stuff they say juice in the store is nothing but sugar water. So you have to be very careful with that. He's getting it straight from the source. You know what I mean? He's not like going in the store and looking at a label say 100% juice. Well, it only has 10% juice in there, and that 10% juice is 100% juice of the 10% they put in there. So all that's trickery in labels. And so now the guy is drinking 90% of sugar water with only 10% 100% juice. So this is how we can get away with the bullshit in America. You know what I mean? Because if we put something in there 100%, I don't care what the percentage is, it could be 1%, 2%, 3%. You still can label that as 100% juice in there, but people don't read it that way. They thinking the whole content is 100% juice. So as long as a person get it from the source, I don't care how they get it, as long as they get it from the source. But the problem is you have people who drink sodas, who drink canned juices, who drink everything but water, and they don't eat fruit at all because it's just too boring for them. And that's the only source of liquid they're getting in their body. And they wonder why they're obese. They wonder why they got diabetes. They wonder why they got high blood pressure. Because all they source is a chemical called sugar that was never considered food. Do you know sugar was never considered food? It is a drug. Matter of fact, white sugar was used to label, put on metal, keep from rusting out. Anybody who ever worked into precast always see that clear form or look like plastic on metal.
Yeah.
That was sugar. They coat it, keep it from rusting out.
But
that's what they used to use sugar for.
You got to be careful with this type of message as well. Remember, guys, I'm not on any side of this, but I've heard these arguments as well when it comes to plants in general. All right, it's all about dosage. That's with any drug, you know what I'm saying? So everything, this is why I said, like, when it comes to, we talk about food and some nutrition, it's always been a balance. And that's the one key thing I want you guys to take away. Like, there is no one way for anything. You have to adapt and change. Like you said, even when you in the beginning, you said the whole breast milk thing, like, can you continue doing this? No, because you already developed other things that will help you digest the food, the solids better. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and place. So even when you get older, right, your energy expenditure is probably a whole lot easier for an older person, in my opinion, because their metabolism isn't as fast and not burning as much energy.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, young man. Speak for yourself.
Hey, JC, I want to say this. You must have been a beast of a man when you were in your 20s. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Most
certainly. If you think you can take on your 20-year-old self, then Godspeed, man.
Well,
just a minute. I want to see if Hassan had anything to add or any questions. Hassan, you there?
Doing, brother?
You haven't heard from him yet.
Hey, what up? My bad. I just had a phone call.
Yes.
No problem. Yeah.
Salam. Salute to the panel. No, it's just great talking points. And like I said last time, we talked about losing weight and stuff. Mandrell, I think fasting, if you fast and you work out a little bit, it helps a lot. Because, OG, how we do it. And when we fast, I think that's the best routine, and eat healthy, and make sure you eat all fresh. Like like don't
Yes.
like when you grab meat and you get stuff like that, don't put it in the freezer right away, and that's not really good. Just like cook it right away and eat it fresh while it's still the juice is still there. But I think you
100%.
should still eat meat. Don't cut out meat. Eat fish.
Yeah,
Let me,
like there's a
hey,
balance.
Hassan, let me ask everybody on the panel then.
Yep.
How many people on the panel is religious? I know you, my brother, but Mandrill, what is your spirituality?
What is my
If you
spirituality?
if you had to have, what are you connected closer to now? Not where you trying to get. What is your foundation?
Well, my foundation was from Judeo-Christianity.
Okay. How about you, Marvis?
I
Marvelous.
wouldn't say I'm religious, but I do have a way of life. My way of life is based
Mhm.
on the principles of love.
Okay. Okay. What that being said, and I understand right about now you trying to be the ringmaster of this circus, but I need for you to answer the question.
That was it. I still had no
No, no, no,
religious
no, no.
affiliation.
But what did you get?
My
Where
way of
did you
life
get
is
that
based
Did you get that foundation? Were you brought up in any Christian home or Seventh
Yeah,
Day
I was brought.
Adventure house? Huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was Seventh-day Adventist.
oh yeah, I was
You
brought up in a Christian home. My parents are still Christ-like in a sense. For
okay?
me, yeah, I would say don't I don't consider myself Christian because I do things that would be Christ-like, right? Because there's a lot
Okay.
of wisdom in this religion. There's a lot of wisdom that you can find in all religions, honestly. But there are certain traditions that they do that I do not do. That's
Okay.
why I'm like, I'm not that because I don't celebrate the traditions and holidays and stuff. I don't do that stuff.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Got you.
Yeah.
E-Man, let me go to you. What is your connection with your spirituality?
I'm a Christian,
Okay.
definitely, but how I grew up wouldn't be considered Christian.
Okay. And the reason why I asked this question, my foundation, as even been a Muslim today, my foundation is Christianity. And one of the most important things is in the Bible that a lot of us, I look at it as an instructional guide. It's a beautiful book, like the Holy Quran. It's a beautiful book, like some other religions they could have, high Christian. It's a beautiful thing because it's all trying to lead you into a positive mindset and to a higher self. And one of the things I did get from, and I'm not trying to turn this into a religious conversation, but I want to stay straight with the diet. And the reason I bring this up, there's several quotes in that book saying, I give you seeds and vegetables and fruit for your medicine and your food.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything could be said that's more important than that. And the reason why I say that, I have seen people reverse things in their body just eating seeds. They have certain elements, and I'm going to spell them out because just like I say, I'm not giving this from a medical mindset or a medical practitioner. I'm just telling you what people actually have did. There's groups of people who have came on the internet and carried through their story and they ate seeds and they cured themselves of different elements. And me knowing who had pneumonia, and I was on my deathbed. Matter of fact, I had 2 people pass away in my house with the same thing I had.
Dang.
The only difference between me and them, they ate and I didn't. And so what I'm saying is, and this has just happened 2 weeks ago. And so what I'm saying is the most important things I get from anything, and I don't care what religion it is, if it's something positive, I consume it.
Yep.
When I know it works. And there's no
Yep.
better things than could be said, seeds, vegetables, and fruit are for your health and your nutrition.
And the funny part about I know a lot of people don't like to read this part of the Bible, but they also told us not to eat pork.
Facts.
And
It tells you.
I
Wait.
know.
This is why
Oh,
I ain't want to get involved in Christianity because in Christianity it tells you about the whole split hoof, the webbed feet, scales, slithering. and then the creepy crawlies, and then also this is the one thing I just got in touch with. I kind of forgot about it. You're not supposed to have mixed materials, clothing. That messes with your vibration, the frequency. So you put this plastic polyester on you, you messing up your body already. You know what I'm saying? People don't even know about that. Scientists are starting to come across that right now, but it's already been biblically proven. I always said, do not mix
But you gotta listen to what he said.
Marvin, you can't do that because I can't get over the internet and tell people I walk around my house naked. You just can't do that, bro. You can't do that. You can't.
But I think
People think I'm funny or something if I had to break that down. So don't do that, Marvin.
I think OG said something that was brilliant that went over a lot of people's head. He said if he finds something in these religions that are good, he take those because it's good for him. I'm not saying that you got to take the whole Bible and everything that it says. It is proven. I think the best thing that ever happened to me is my mother was dating this Muslim guy, right? So she removed pork out of our diet. Like I was fat, I was overweight. You know what I didn't have? High blood pressure. You know what I like that's the point that I'm telling you is that moving certain things, it's proven that these things are connected to certain illness, and we still take it. That's the only point that I'm saying. But people can eat what they want to eat.
Medra, I gotta go. I got people in my house. But Marvin,
Yeah.
I do want to know when you was on that vegetarian diet, were you still eating? Were you still consuming a dairy product on your lasagna or whatever you said?
Nah, I couldn't. I
Were
was
you
like,
eating any type of cheeses or anything? Or you just strictly?
yes, technically, because the lasagna they had the cheese on it.
Okay.
But it's not just because of cheese though. It really was because I even right now bread bloats me. I cannot eat bread like that. You know what I'm saying? Rice bloats me. Rice bloats me. Bread bloats me. All that stuff that carb heavy, that's going to do damage to me every time. Pancakes,
you got it. You got it. And sometimes you check your tomato sauce too, because I want to leave y'all with this. I want to leave y'all with this.
Hold on. Mandrell, click on the thing. That's one. E-Man, you asked us a question. Can a person survive without vegetables? I googled it, and this is the answer he gave me right there. It's in the chat, Mandrell.
Okay, so Mandrell,
go ahead.
Another thing we gotta have a discussion on is all vegetables are not equal. A lot of the vegetables that we eat are hybrids. They're man-made. And we got to get into that discussion because a lot of people who go into be vegetarian, they're eating foods that's worse than them eating meat. They're eating hybrid certain vegetables that your body don't know what to do with them because they are chemical form. They're not live food. So we're going to have that discussion. All right. Peace, love, and always strive for the truth. And may all of you have an amazing rest of the day.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming, JSP. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to address one of the questions that was presented in the chat. Scam Likely asked us, where is it? Does high fructose corn syrup even qualify as sugar? Here's your answer. High fructose corn syrup is a liquid sweetener made from corn. When corn starch is broken down into individual molecules, it becomes corn syrup, which is 100% glucose, a simple sugar. So yeah, it thinks it's 100%, so it's pure. Pure simple sugar. That's why it's so potent, dude. This stuff is in everything too. It's in everything. So, Hassan, this is your comment. Read that for us.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. Not only humans survive, but a human can thrive and live long, healthy life without eating any vegetables. How you say that in my English?
Essential nutrients.
Essential nutrients are those which a body cannot produce. Then there's another comment under this. So they must be consumed. Yep, there you go.
Gotcha.
So you believe that a human can live a long life without eating vegetables at all?
Yes,
based on your
possible,
comment.
amen. Because the one thing that you understand, like, there's lots of different body parts or body flesh in general. Okay, there's a lot you can get off the flesh of any animal. The liver, for instance, there is a lot of different nutrients in not human liver, goddamn, animal liver or any animal you eat, the liver. There's also lots of stuff in the bone marrow. Even the skin that has collagen in it, legit collagen. Chicken skin has collagen in it. Fish scales, all that stuff. These things are micronutrients that your body can take in. You can actually get all that you need from an animal if you know how to actually look for it and get it. You don't just get the steak or just get the chicken breast. Like, no, you got to eat different parts of that animal, of that flesh to get the actual nutrients that you need. Like I said, bone marrow is one, chicken liver is another. You know what I'm saying? Like heart and all types of things. There's all types of body organs that I wouldn't want to eat, but they do provide those nutrients that your body would need. I just wouldn't want to eat it personally. But like I said, don't have to be so extreme. You can go to balance it out, in my opinion. I say balance is the best key. You don't have to go to one extreme to compensate for supplements and also stuff like that just to get the stuff you need. Just get what you can.
Well, I think that what I'm confused about is where you're going to get vitamin C from.
The sun. There you go. Take it, homie.
You know, here's the thing, man. You can get it from oranges. Oranges are not vegetables. That's a fruit.
No, so we put fruits and vegetables into the same category. What it sounds like Son was saying is that you can eat only meat, and correct me if I'm wrong, and you can live a long lifestyle. So I get it if we want to be technical, but what I'm telling you is vitamin C, vitamin E, and fiber are 2-3 important things that you need in your diet.
Whoa. Fiber you don't need. I found that out. You don't need fiber.
Okay.
No, I found it. It's just not. No, seriously, I found out that's not. It's actually counterintuitive to what people believe fiber does for you. People say, "Oh, fiber cleans you out." You know what I'm saying? I can poop better, blah 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 blah. That's not exactly true. The way you think of it, you think like, "Oh yes, I'm not constipated." Like this. Imagine your bowels and your bowels being completely stuffed and full, right? Because that's what it's basically doing. You're stuffing your stuff to the point where you're going to fucking release the shit, literally. That's what's really happening. It's like a huge traffic jam when you get fiber in there. It's literally helping you cleanse out. But the thing about that's not good though, because you take too much fiber, the natural lining, the mucus that's in there is going to get messed up. You're going to mess with the inner lining of your large intestines, eating too much fiber, it'll F you up. So you got to be careful. It's all about dosage. You know what I'm saying? Not saying plants are bad. All right, not my thing. Everything's in dosage. I'm saying we can't be so extreme.
Yeah, it's all about balance, basically. The whole thing. It really is all about balance. And now here's the thing: you can take a vegan diet, and when it comes to your macros, be very balanced. You know what I'm saying? Keto, you can be very balanced with that. It's just fine. Me, I take a balanced approach to nutrition. I eat my vegetables. I eat my meats. I don't eat meat with every meal though. I don't eat meat for breakfast. You know, a lot of times I don't eat meat I don't even eat eggs for breakfast a lot of times. But I do try to keep it balanced though, especially if you're going to be really active. Tommy, you came back up here. What's going on?
Oh yeah, man, I'm out here moving around. But no, I was gonna say, like discussions like this, when you start getting in depth, like you guys were getting, the dangerous part about that is you start confusing people, because then it's like, well, what the, like I think Ted said earlier in the chat, it's like, then you just start going, well, what the fuck can I eat? Because it's like, oh, well, this is wrong with this
right.
So I tend to just tell people, just eat healthier than what you normally do, and I think that'll get you results. To be honest with you, like even going back to what Eda Man was saying, when he was saying with the liquid, to be honest with you, I think the sugar in that soda is way more a problem than, say, you watering down your digestive system. I think the biggest problem we have in America is sugar. People, including myself, don't fully understand how much sugar is in soda, and we fucking devour soda. And so I think you can say no matter who, because like me, it's hard for me to have these conversations with people because I'm genetically blessed, bro. Like I literally have nothing. I don't have allergies. I don't have symptoms. I don't have aches and pains. I just went to the doctor yesterday, blood pressure on point. Like I rarely go to the doctor, rarely get sick. I'm just like I know I'm a abnormal person. So for me, I can eat anything, and for the most part, like I said, I just monitor my weight or whatever. But for the most part, I don't have these symptoms that most people have. But one thing I do know is, and it's the biggest thing I think, even with the intermittent fasting, because when I do intermittent fasting, it's straight water. It's no sodas, nothing. It's just straight water. And I think that's the biggest effect of me losing the weight is just cutting out all of that sugar like that. I think that's the biggest thing. That's where I kind of disagree with Jay Speed when he said when he was talking about the problem with America as far as diet. I don't even necessarily think it's diet, bro. I think it's sugar. I think we have a fucking sugar problem out here, and I don't. And because when you drinking stuff like soda, you know, in our community, the liquor, the dark liquor and stuff like that transfer into sugar, you don't. We attach fat to food. We don't attach it to liquid. And so what I think a lot of people don't understand is a lot of times it ain't even necessarily the food. Like Eda Man was saying, 2 liters of soda. And I'm not saying that to shame him because I was the same. I mean, I'm still hooked to soda. I love the fuck out of some soda. That's an issue. And that's where I've seen skinny niggas have a gut off of sugar. Whole body be skinny, but they got a gut. Is that like I think so? I would think throughout this whole conversation, the number one thing to just tell people is just kick the fucking sugar. That is a huge part of people.
I tell all my clients, yeah, I tell every one of my clients that. And then when I put a nutrition plan with them, I was like, you notice anything about it? What? Where's the sugar? You know, so where's the sugar? You know, but you got fruit here. Yeah, but I'm talking about processed sugar, table sugar. You know what I'm saying?
I said that.
Tommy's right. It's high fructose corn syrup is in everything. We consume a ton of sugar, man.
But man,
people just addicted to it.
Yeah, just at the very beginning. I said that in the very beginning. I said my 3 S's to success was serving size, salt, and sugar. I said you have to monitor those 3 things, be consistent in knowing what it is you're taking in on those 3 things. The first thing I said before, because the habits is our serving size. We're taught to get until you're full. Of course, we brought the fructose, sugars, and I talked about the tongue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for us to say no to certain things. Our tongue is so astute to a certain taste. You know, we over season, over sugar, everything is. Even the cakes that we make here are way more sweeter than overseas, man. Like, Japan is just a nice, perfect chef's kiss over there. I love it over there. But coming back, I ain't gonna lie, food is a little sugary. There's just a little bit. My palate that kind of got normalized and came back here, and it's a little extra sugar that's going on there. And then salt again.
Yeah.
Watch how much salt you take in.
Yeah. Also, like Scam Likey says, he says, I do not eat butter, salt, sugar. I cook with butter. I do,
Yeah,
especially when
butter.
if I'm gonna scramble some eggs or cook eggs, I do it with butter. Same thing with steak. Butter is fine, but the thing is, it's not something I'm eating every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat butter every day. I don't eat steak every day. I do eat chicken every day, though. Just about every day I eat chicken.
I think number 2 is like motherfuckers got to move around, bro. And like I said, it ain't necessarily you got to lift weights. It ain't even like you got to go jog. Like I said, you know, mostly everybody, if you got a cell phone, Apple Watch, whatever, it counts your steps, bro. If you put in, you know, 15, 20,000 steps a day, it makes a huge difference. You don't have to run. You can literally just walk it, you know what I'm saying, and just keep track of it. But people have to move. And, you know, when you say that, it sounds crazy, but especially when you start getting into, you know, most of us when we're in high school, you know, you still playing around or you in sports and stuff like that. So you naturally move around. But when you start getting older, you got jobs, you got kids and stuff. If you ask most adults when the last time you just dead sprinted somewhere, I would say high 80%. I would damn near say high 80%. Couldn't tell you.
Higher than that. I'm telling you,
like 90%. I say it's in the 90s. I say it's in the 90s. Yeah, I would say it's in the 90% now. Like they just pull out balls to the wall, did a sprint. Yeah, very few people. You know, very few adults.
And again, it's not that you have to, but you know, again, get your heart rate up, bro. Like,
yeah.
And it's just so many people out here that just don't. You know, like they just go about their everyday lives. They sitting in front of a TV or sitting on their phone or computer and just don't move.
Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds me when you said that. What do you guys think? Because this is a misconception. I learned this like 2 years ago. What do you think when it comes to the heart and the lungs? What do you think is actually quite more crucial than the other?
I think they're both critical. You can't
Oh,
survive
they are
without either
both.
one of them. You know
Yeah, I
what
was
I'm
gonna
saying?
say they kind of go hand in hand,
Yeah,
but
you
I
can't
mean, you
survive
only
with
have
either
one
one.
heart. You got two lungs.
Which
You only
one do
got
you
one
think is
heart.
doing
So.
Yeah.
which one do you think is doing some I would say the labor, the ignition? What's starting it off?
That's the heart.
Oh, the heart.
No,
You
You think?
think the
Oh, the
lungs?
lungs.
No, no, I'll tell you why. Because your heart is a valve. It controls the blood flow. The lungs is the actual pump. That is actually pumping and regulating the blood. That's why when you pass out and you're not breathing, they start to decompress you and stuff. They're trying to pump the heart, pump the blood. The blood only controls the speed of how fast the blood is flowing. It's a valve. It's not a pump. Your lungs are the pump. Your heart is the valve that controls the speed of how fast the blood flows. That's how sometimes some people they work too hard, breathe too hard, have a heart attack. The blood flows too fast. But and also because of arteries could be clogged, all types of stuff. It's a valve. It's not a pump.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you think
Yeah.
that might be the reason why people used to take them brown paper bags, put over their nose and mouth to slow down the breathing when they're having the anxiety attacks and all that? Something to look into.
Mandrell, Mike said check your Cash App. He sent you a Cash App.
Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Shout out to the people who sent the Cash App. Thank you for that very much for that. I don't know if y'all want me to mention y'all names, but let's see. Hassan, you are today's sponsor with a $5 Cash App. Thank you very much.
You know what? Is this
To Lady Navoa, thank you for the Cash App. Thank you. It's all very grateful. I don't see a Cash App from a Mike, but
I'll send you a little something before I leave. Clue 21.
thank you very much. Thank you very much for the Cash Apps, everybody. We're trying to get on, we're trying to do a good thing here, and hopefully you guys are learning something. I know all the information might seem overwhelming. That's why it's good to talk. And all these things are possible. The point is there are many different ways to be healthy, many different ways to eat clean, many different ways to work out. But that's why I say hire a trainer or at least talk to one. You can talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to me. You know what I mean? There are people out here who can tell you. I've talked to them for free. You know what I'm saying? And say, listen, get a workout routine, stick with it for at least 3 months. Just stick with it. That way you go to the gym. Okay, I know what I'm doing today. And you do that. You go in, you do the work, and you go home. Am I right, Marvelous? It's structure. It's structure. You don't go in there and just like, I wonder what I feel like. No, I know what I'm doing today. Like tomorrow, it's gonna be legs and abs. Thursday is gonna be back, and it's gonna be back, bis and tries. Friday is gonna be chest, it's gonna be chest and shoulders.
But most of
you know what I'm saying?
Americans, Mandrell, are lazy. It comes down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We're just lazy in it.
Go ahead.
It's all about intentions. You're right. It's all about the intentions. Because the thing is, we're also in a generation where we want things to become easy and more accessible. That's why even right now, it's the first time in history I thought never see the day. Men are actually getting fake surgeries, fake abs.
Yeah,
fake
that's wild.
I'm like, what the? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's wild.
You can't take off. Wow,
that's wild.
So yes, I thought I'd never see the day, but men are actually getting surgery now to get fake abs,
fake calves,
fake implants, and
fake abs.
I'm just like, wow, we've gotten to that stage because if it's accessible, they're going to take it. If it's easy and accessible, they're going to take it. You know what I'm saying? Over the hard work. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah, I saw this show Botched. It's on Netflix now. There's a guy who got like shoulder implants, pec implants, ab implants, butt implants. You know what I'm saying? Calf. Like he got implants in like all the crucial places. I was like, stop playing. No, you know what I'm saying? No, just go to the gym, man. At this point, I mean, I wouldn't recommend nobody shoot Roy's, but I mean, maybe it's time for you to poke. If it's that serious, dude, you know what I'm saying? Hassan, what you about to say something? You say America's lazy, which is true. Yes.
Yeah, lazy, and even when everybody try to work out, they have to sneak in a burger, cheat. They can. It's like hard to get away. Some people can pull it off. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it's like goddamn, it's hard to get away from all that stuff. And unless you're a lucky person, you have like people that work out 24/7. You hang out with them, like Mandrell, like Opinion, like whoever. Then hey, you're lucky. But not all of us can get that lucky. You see him eating like, God damn, I want a burger, I want to fry it. You just, it drags you back in.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that comes over too. I think about like the mind over matter thing. Now, every habit is hard to break, especially when you put your mind is in autopilot, I call it, right? Like when I was trying to quit social media, for instance, right? It was hard for me just to stop doing this all the time, picking up my phone, like your body does things reactively, instinctively, without you even thinking about it. You have to break that barrier first. The reflexes. Your body has certain reflexes that you have to first overcome. But you have to first be aware of these things and say, why am I doing this? And then what you have in place to supplement that habit that you have right now. You have to learn how to change and conform and take control over your body. That's the thing is, like I said, though, that's easier said than done because you have to first be aware when you're doing it. So for me, when I start seeing myself catch me, look at my phone, like, what are you doing? Like, stop. Like, I had to stop myself physically from picking up my phone because I had such a bad habit of picking it up all the time when I go out places. So if I had to do it, I'll leave my phone in the car intentionally. I'll leave it somewhere where it's not in arm's reach. So I'm not habitually picking it up. You know what I'm saying? I had to know myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what comes to realizing, like, you know that you love cheeseburgers, well, I guess you should be taking a different driving route that doesn't go past McDonald's or something like that, or put yourself in a compromising position, change up your habits. Because you might be doing the same thing day in, day out, and that's why it's hard to break certain reflexes and habits. If you go to the refrigerator every morning, cooking the same food, and then you try to, change your breakfast habits, but you're still going down the stairs, same time, seeing the same food, you have to fight yourself from grabbing what's on this other shelf. Like, I can't eat that. I got to eat this right now. It's like, but you still had the temptation in arm's reach. You didn't kick it out the house. You didn't, change up nothing. Like, wake up at the same time, doing the same exact thing. Wake up at a different time. I don't care what it is. You got to make different changes to adjust to what it is you are doing as a reflex. Because your body does go on autopilot for a lot of stuff, and it's no longer your mind. It's just your body reacting, and you're not being aware of what it's doing.
Yeah, and like I said, and people don't let this information overwhelm you. It's actually not as hard as all that. It's just he and I are educated on it, like deeply. So is J Speed. You know what I mean? And when you have that much knowledge, and you know what I'm saying, he's like, well, this diet works, that diet works, so you can't do this, can't do that. We're like, wait, circumstances apply here. Like, that's what Marvelous and I were saying. Wait, hold up. Yeah, you're right. It can work. However, you got to take into circumstances. Like when people saying, like, drink nothing but water. I'm like, yeah, but, or the guy who got hydrated off fruit. Yeah, you can. You certainly can, because you're taking in water from the fruit. There's water in it, But how active is the guy? He ain't working out 5 to 6 days a week, and he's okay. No, you're not. No, you are not okay. If you, So I mean, it just depends on your lifestyle and what you want to do. That's where the diet and habits come from. And like Marvelous and I say, it's a lifestyle. Like, you guys know the series. Everyone out there knows the series that I'm working on, Marvelous. I went from 195 pounds. I got up to 255, right?
Woo.
And I gained that weight because a client of mine, she was 307 pounds when we first met, something like that.
Yeah,
But she was just over 300 pounds. Yeah, she was 5'6", like 5'6", 5'7".
Wow.
Yeah, female.
Nice.
So, I was working with her. She lost 52 pounds, right?
Okay.
So, she hit a plateau. Finally hit a plateau because she was on a roll. Finally hit a plateau, and that's when the weight loss slows down. I told her it'll speed back up. It's just, it's going to speed back up. We just have to keep going. So about a week goes by. She got discouraged. I said, okay, tell you what, I'll continue to work with you. And what we're going to do is I'm going to stop working out, stop eating healthy. I'm going to gain weight on purpose. And then we'll lose the rest of the weight together. I gain the weight. She leaves.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No,
Bruh. Oh
So-
my God.
So I was sat there, Marv. I was sat there, right? I had to so now put on all this weight, and I gotta lose it. Now I gotta do it by myself. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Fine, I'll do it myself. No problem. You know what I'm saying? I'll lose weight, no problem. So I get to work. Okay, healthy diet, caloric deficit, workout routine, because I know what I'm doing. So I go to work, right? I got down to 238, and I was like, wait, what am I doing? I should be recording this because I'm never doing it again. I'm never gaining weight. I'm never doing it again, bro. Never doing it again. I promise you. It is so uncomfortable, but I'll get to that later. Anyway, so I got to like 238, 240, and I was like, wait, I should be recording this. So I recorded my first weigh-in, you know what I'm saying? I was at 238. Yeah, I was at 238 in my first weigh-in. So I'm recording every workout that I do, every exercise and the whole nine. And I'm going to be showing people what I eat too,
Yeah.
So let's see what that plate looks like. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably do some like not split screen, but picture in picture. I'm just gonna Google the stuff. Like I'm gonna make it simple for people. Like, okay, how many calories in 1 cup of cooked black beans? And just show them the Google results. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot, but then do the math. Okay, I got 1 cup of cooked black beans, 4 cups of these vegetables, 1 boneless skinless chicken breast. Boom, that's the calorie count for that meal. But then you see the picture of the plate. It's like, yeah, that's a lot of food. It's a plate full of food, man. It is. There's a lot of food, but it's only like 400 some odd calories. So just because something is low calorie doesn't mean it's not flavorful. Doesn't mean that you're eating like a bird. Like I said, dude, I have trouble finishing that meal. You know what I'm saying? But because, like I said, I don't want to overfeed myself. Yeah, I don't want to underfeed myself. So it's like I'll eat it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm full. I'll stop. 2 hours later, I'll go finish it. I'll warm it up in the microwave and finish it. You know what I'm saying? But then once I hit the gym, okay, I'm hungry again. So now I can eat it. You know what I'm saying? Now I can eat it. But I also eat 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It helps me regulate my metabolism. It's on a schedule. You know what I'm saying? So at any given time, I'm eating just about 2,000 calories. If you include the seasonings as calories. If you include that, it's probably between 1,800 and 2,000. No more than 2,000. And I'm being very generous with the 2,000.
Oh, you
very generous.
Yeah, you being
because it's about you listen to that meal. And then for let's say breakfast, I eat a bowl of oatmeal. It's a half a cup of oatmeal, sprinkle some cinnamon over it. I put 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal in it, and I use hot water. You know what I'm saying? That's that and 2 hard-boiled eggs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm eating 3 times a day, I'm consuming about 1,800 calories. But then nowadays I'm doing 2 a days. Because I just want to get it over with, man. I want it done. I need this marvelous. I need this stuff gone, bro. I need it gone, man. No, bro. I need this stuff gone, man.
But you're almost there, man. Drill. You lost.
I still got a ways to go, man. I'm down to 217. I'm down to 217, man.
Next time, man, Drill. Do not get fat for nobody, like you said. No more.
Exactly. No one. Yeah. No, it's never happened. Never happening again, folks. And I've taken pictures of my before pictures. So you'll see that. Okay, you'll see that, and you're gonna see the after pictures too. Yes. Depends. If my lady says no, then y'all. If my lady says no, then y'all ain't seeing that. But it's for
lose weight.
Yeah, you do not want to be in a position. Yeah, you do not want to be position to have to lose weight and habits that form too. But now I have like a lot more insight and experience into a client who's really overweight and looking for help and has those habits to break, things like that. Now I understand where they're going through. I can empathize with them a lot more because You and I are disciplined. We can get in there and do it. And even with my level of discipline, it's not the easiest thing in the world to fight through that. I don't feel like, to fight through that. I don't feel like doing it, feeling. Because I do feel that, like, I don't feel like doing this. You know what I'm saying? There are days, man, it's like, I don't feel like it, dude, bro. I don't want to. There's a couple of days I got in my car because I got a gym bag, right? You know, you keep your towel, wraps, gloves, you know, hooks for when I'm doing pull-ups, you know, just in case my forearms burn out. All the equipment, I got all the gear, right? Wraps for my knees on in that bag. I got this whole bag. I get in my car, get to the gym. I walked in the gym, sat on the bench, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this today. So I'm in the gym. You know, so I made it in the gym. And so I picked up my bag and walked out. And I tell people, I said, listen, if you miss a day, don't feel bad. There are some days where it's just not gonna happen. But make up for it the next day. Make sure you make it to the gym the next day. It's okay to take an extra day to rest.
Yeah.
It's okay to take an extra day to rest. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure it's that one time. Don't make that consistent.
Yeah.
Do you still do your MMA gym, Mandrell, or no? You stopped that.
Yeah. Why do you think I was so tired?
Oh.
Why do you think I was so tired?
Exactly.
Yeah, because I train in MMA, okay, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing, you know, actual, you know, American boxing, whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? I still train in boxing. I still train in karate. From time to time, about three times a month, I do Wing Chun just to stay current, so I don't miss I don't forget the forms, the whole 9. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm a very, very active person. But yeah, so it's like, bro, that day, Hassan, that day in particular, it just wasn't happening. I did myself a favor, went home. And the thing is, marvelous, when I got in the gym the next day, I was a beast. I killed it. I killed it the next day. Yeah, I killed it the next day. And that's what let me know that, okay, I really needed that rest. I really did.
You know what? That's something we should tell the people too. So that's definitely a real thing. The older you get, man, you're gonna need more time to recover, man. Like I'm learning that more so now. Let's say I'm 30. I'm not 37. I'm 36, guys. I turned 37 this year. That's what happens when you get older. You get your own birthday. 36 years old. And I'm just like, dang, man, it hit me at 36. Like not a day sooner, not a day later. At 36, it was like, damn, man, why is it taking so long for me to, like, usually I can get right back in the gym the next following day or something. You know, I do back to back, do 2 days on, 2 days off. But one time I felt like I need that third day or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I'm not able, it's my performance. It was degrading. Like I can go to the gym, but there was a degradation. I was like, man, I'm not putting out as much. What's going on? I'm getting weaker. Now that I'm getting weaker, the muscles need more time to recover. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because I was being honest with myself, it was like hydration is very, very crucial. But it was even more crucial than, or just as crucial, in my opinion, and everyone needs to know, sleep.
Yes.
You need sleep.
You will destroy your gains and your progress with no sleep. All that work would be for nothing if you don't get the proper amount of sleep. All of it would be for nothing if you don't get the proper amount of sleep. You run here sleeping 3-4 hours a night, forget about it.
So you need 8 hours? 8 hours?
I say between 6 and 8.
No,
make it minimum.
The older you get, if you older,
As you get older, you do need more. As you get older, 7. But you're still in your 20s, right, Hassan?
No, I'm not in my 20s. I'm 30.
So in your 30s? Okay, cool. 30s, you might be able to get away with 6. You might. Yeah. But I'm with Marvelous. That is an actual scientific fact. You need sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That because the lack of sleep, it'll kill it.
Yes.
You wonder, why am I not growing? Why am I not growing? How often are you sleeping?
Yep. That's exactly what it was for me. And you know, you don't be in the military, sometimes you don't get that sleep that you need, man. Like that's when I was like, why is it? Because like I said, like it was just at 36, it was like that 6 hours ain't cutting no more.
No, it
It's
ain't.
like,
It ain't
no.
doing it no more, man. I used to get away. I used to be able to go to sleep 3-4 hours, done, good. I can get up the next day and kill it.
Yep.
I can get up the next day, 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Today, no way. No way. No way I'm doing it. I found that now. I'm just like, nah, I gotta go to bed.
Yep. 100%.
No.
That's one thing you guys gotta take from this, guys. Like the sleep is so important because we like most of us here are wage slaves. You know what I'm saying? We work for a living 9 to 5 type jobs, something like that. We work long hours, sometimes pulling in double, whatever else, and we kind of train our bodies to get used to that. But then we want to
Mhm.
incorporate other things to try to catch up with health and stuff, and we don't realize we sabotage ourselves because we're doing things that we don't know that are hindering us. You know what I'm saying? We're doing everything they tell us right, but there's some things that, like I said, we almost missed out on telling the people. Sleep is so damn crucial, bro. Like that's not a
Yeah,
joke.
that's another thing I underestimated for a long time. I probably would have been a lot bigger now. Bigger.
Oh yeah.
Had I known how important it was back then, earlier, I probably would have been a lot bigger and a lot more muscular had I known. Because good grief, man! I'm just thinking about it. Like today, like these days, there's no way. I'm like, nah. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to sleep, man. No, you can't be that active and then skim out on the sleep. You have to. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Whatever it's doing to keep you up. That's if you want the gains, you want the progress of losing weight. You got to go because that's when the magic happens. A lot of people think that you're losing weight while you're in the gym. They think that while you're doing the exercise, that's when it happens. No, all of the magic. Talking about 99% of it is happening while you sleep.
Facts.
The weight loss, the muscle gain is happening when you sleep. That's when because your body don't start working just because you sleep.
100%, 1,000% what you said. Like I said, if I knew that, like I said, man, I had to go through it physically to realize what was going on. I said, yo, what the fuck? It's the rest time.
It's the rest. Yeah, it's the rest time.
World class. Salute, world class.
Salute to Reckless Ray De Niro and the world class. He says he's just here to troll. But yeah, I thought it was just because I was getting old. I mean, that I'm getting older. I mean, yeah, that's a part of it. But at the same time, had I known back then how important sleep was, I would have been as good, as aesthetically nice as my body was, and always has been. I'm just thinking about like how much better could it have been, like had I known that, because you're young. There's times you don't go to sleep at all, still hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been to sleep. No, for what? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
still hit the gym.
That's just what it
Being
is as a young man. It's hard for us as young men when we're really young like that. It's hard to sit still. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be patient. It's just harder to be a master of yourself and having that discipline. You know what I'm saying? You got like you're right. The younger you can catch on to it at an early age, my God, how much wiser, how much stronger you would ever be at later on in life. You'd be like, yo, you'd be unfathomable. You'd be almost unlimited compared to everyone else because you had something that no one had. You had a head start, a legit head start of most people. It's crazy just thinking about it.
It is. Well, all right, fellas, we're gonna close it out. We've been going for a while.
Yeah,
salute to everybody in the
though.
chat. Yeah, salute to everybody in the chat. I think that there's another live stream going on. There's a new kid on the block, Marvelous, in the manosphere. It's called This Might Be Risky.
Oh yeah, I do.
It's hosted by it's hosted by a guy named DJ Hemp. He's doing a good job over there, to his credit. But yeah, I mean, if you go at the same time as him as live stream, it's gonna be tough to compete. But
I got you.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, everyone flocks over there now, man. So but yeah, we're gonna close out. We're gonna go to final thoughts. Let's go with Hassan.
Oh yeah, great show, great panel. Thank you for always having me on. You always have great conversations, like an eye opening.
Mm-hmm.
Next time with Mandrell, you be your next guest. 907 Good Eats and Next Level. They know about their food, especially 907. She's a chef. But Marvelous, nice to meet you, and salute to everybody.
Okay, yeah, thank you. 907 Good Eats. Hit me up on Instagram, Mandrell_21. If you want to do the show, because if she knows about food, then like I said, nutrition is one of the most important parts.
Yeah, she's a chef.
Yeah, even better. Yeah. Marvelous. What are your final thoughts, man? First of all, thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this.
Of course, man. Anytime, man. I appreciate you reaching out to me, man. It's always a blessing to come here. You know what I'm saying? And my final thoughts. Well, at the end of the day, guys, life's a decision-making process. All right, and because of the decision-making process, do your best while you're here on Earth to make as many decisions as you can. I know at times your body is going to want to get complacent. You know what I'm saying? It's going to want to be relaxed. It's going to want to do nothing. But you're here to live and do something. So live and learn and take the wisdom that we share with you guys today. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Thank you very much. And again, appreciate it. People, I'm not going to be doing a live stream next week, probably a week after, though. So, and I am putting together, I am still putting together the, what do you call it? Not live stream, but standalone content. The series with the weight loss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I am. So everyone's going to see every workout I do every day. You know what I'm saying? And because the editing process is a beast. I didn't realize it was so involved, but it is a beast, man. Because I got
my equipment for that.
Yeah, man. It's just that it's me talking, doing the introduction. Then you see me doing the exercises and I'm talking over that. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, my wife is suffering with that.
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
Right now, she's
The
doing
editing
that.
process is a beast, man. Yeah, and to the world class, he said, I told you. Yeah, you did. I'll admit that he did tell me that the editing process is a monster. And it is. It's a lot to learn. And just like, you don't know where to start. So I'm just like, let me start somewhere. And I did. Yeah. And also, today's broadcast and now this channel is also produced by a company called Manipulating Mainstream Media. Okay. So where'd you go? Yeah, Manipulating Mainstream Media. They also have a website. Check that out. If you need, speaking of editing, if you need editing, photo shots, photo shoots, or anything of that nature, go to the website and hit them up. ManipulatingMainstreamMedia.com. So that's it. That's today's show. Thank you guys for coming out. As always, I appreciate your support. For real. Thanks, everybody. Later.
Later, brother.
Your kung fu is pretty good. Kung fu is pretty good.